they're just getting torn apart.
Oh. The collateral. Almost.
Oh, looked like it, yeah.
Could have been, could have been. They'll be counting their lucky stars. But Torzy, he's like, nah, I wanted 2. So he's going to go right back. Oh my god, another chance at a collateral, but he doesn't need him because he's 3 for 3 on the op shots. Close this, JDC peeks alongside Torzy's flash, and it's the player in the back of the site who's gonna have to do it all. JDC jumping, damn it! Closing in on it. Oh! No scope for the second Banana Man. Torzy wants a gun for his troubles. Looks to kill them all. Oh, he's got it.
God, I love how he fought there. That was
beautiful. Plant is so safe. Kevy, 2 kills. Comfortably in the backside, finds that Deagle player in Roofire, and it's an easy spray down. 4 frags coming off the Kevy. Oh, he's gonna push right through. Vlomic, wild blind, gets 4 kills, blinded with the Hawk. 4 rounds for VP Prodigy.
Push come through. Oh, I think he knows.
He's just got to kill the guy in Temple. The flash came from the CT spawn. Regali up close. It's a combat off the off. Oh. And neither hitting that first shot bomb. Gone. No scope connects. Harrison's position's now confirmed and the bomb's not for him. So he needs to fight his way out tooth and nail to stop this defuse. But it gets stuck all the way. Less than half a second left, and he would have stopped that defuse. Instead, it's Fnatic Rising with the round 1 win. KST tapping into the head of Cheerful and extending outwards looking for a frag. Vlomic drops the op shot, and KST is on a damn tear, nearly killing everybody. I promise you are never going to boost that position for the next 2 weeks.
That looked excellent.
They just very quickly throwing himself into the back line. He's got his knife out. Oh, it's a knife fight! And Cheerful...
He finds the timing. Behind double. Looking for that. Seeing that Molly come through.
Nails 2.
Oh, and now down to 20 seconds. I'll have to push up, and Banjo's not done.
3rd frag for Banjo. Cheerful is going to try to catch him back the other direction, but KST comes in through smoke. Those Molotovs just blanketing the positions he likes to play. KST kills Resalt and Zaracin as well. You know, we talked about KST last map with the multi-kills, but Cheerful can do it too. Oh, he gets so blind, but they don't see him. 2 kills. Keve's able to help out with one of his own. Trying to get into the A site. All tags. We didn't get to catch it, but I can guarantee you that was hot. 3 kills from on top of balcony. Shuts down the short player. jump up, dies out to it. Prime Tap's looking to keep this 4K alive. Swings wide, and sure enough, he's got it.
Got their opponent scared and confused. Not giving away too many opening kills. Usually winning them. But now Void makes an appearance on the other side of the map.
Trying to capture more than one. Swings with the MP9, cuts down 3 players as Glaive gets his name in with 2 assists and a kill of his own. So total shutdown here from Big Omen Academy. Now they know that Aqua's coming in from behind because he just used utility. But Void, he doesn't turn around. And Aqua, oh my god, gets denied after the no-scope. Tech 9 charge up. Yo, what's up, Rosas? Oh, 3 kills into the AK spray. Impact last round. His final chance at it, and the shotty makes a difference. Down in heaven, one graffiti and one inside of the water.
Hold on.
Mister gonna be challenged. Luckily for him, Altex, good job at alleviating pressure. 3 kills from Altex inside of heaven. He is the guardian angel of this B site.
Some important duels between Void and there's another one versus Glaive, actually. Oh, man.
He cuts this from a 4v4 to the 4v2, but Aqua's got a double headshot of his own. Working his way forward, wary of a player over on long, but the double up towards the double third, and Mister's got it all the way. Starting to draw attention towards Ticket, but they still have not found ZTR. And with that flash in the mid-site from Roll, ZTR's activated. The booby trap comes into play with the 2K and the finish onto Onkir. Into the corner. Onkir's got to come clear this, and he will, just as his head is turned. Now the pressure all relieved. Here, he's going to have his head turned on a swivel, and it's great from Navi Jr. Able to kill all 3 players who tried to flood out from the app. Find further success, and honestly, they're all going to die. Devo, he'll hold his ground for a little bit. Oh, he's got 3. Okay. Tip of the hat, good sir. Sapek, good angle. Catches Modesty off guard with the elevation. Head trick. Now it's up to him to take this player down, but Sapek's got 4 kills for Sapek off of the top of Banana. But Flamey still has that ability to beat an X Factor. Oh, and another! Oh, Fear! Nice Desert Eagle
He
kill.
will walk 3 steps.
Frag grenade's also going to be good. That's another kill. That's another kill. And now Sapek has 6 HP. Fear is about to pull off a 1 versus 4 with 2 Deagle 1-taps. And if he sticks this 10-second defuse, I swear to God, this is the WePlay play of the day. Sapek peeks late. He's hiding, and it's so close. Sapek has a huge play. He's already slipped by a player. Monacy's back to... Okay, you're playing a man disadvantage.
He has 2 on the lineup. No, he doesn't.
Oh my god, but if he gets all the way to CT spawn, so he can time the rotate. Cynics gets executed, Sapek decides to peek back, and there you go.
also look like a better team on top of it.
Oh,
wow.
dude.
Super quick, super fast. I called him the Flash in my video. Oh, shut up, man.
Wow.
Shut up.
Left eye peek. A second one onto Aqua as well through the mid doors.
Oh.
A third one onto Nixay as he peeks it. I'm telling you.
This guy's bulldozing.
Got Flamey on site to help him. Flamey, good for 2. And then Fear comes around the side of that smoke, and it's a shutdown. Flamey with a multi-kill. Oh my god, 3 kills?
The smoke comes up.
I thought the smoke was going to come up and just one player was going to go, but they all tried to just get beyond as smoke was. Oh my god, it's flawless. Tab's going to try and keep it alive in the 1v3, but as he doubles back in, he actually pushes this one into a very winnable situation.
Can you hear this? Oh,
Yep.
There it is.
Yep, he heard the drop.
And
he's got it. And it's just a single shot into Aqua. That's all he needs. But that also goes both ways because it's the beauty of the pistols. Who's more sharp? Who's got it? Who's going to hit it first? He's got 5 bullets left in the magazine. He's going to reload. Reload, yes sir.
There's time.
He's got the kid as well, so just hit it. Hit the frickin' headshot.
Oh, he got it. God damn. Aqua had a lot of chances.
missed. Oh. Dorsey, though, doesn't get too punished for it. We've got an up-close fight versus the offer. Hits him with the no-scope. Honta. Rapid fire on the op. Love to see it. See, getting one kill final, but it's the tale of ZMB. This off just shutting down Connector. 2 frags for it. Into nearly a third one. They're going to chase down the offer. Decenty and ZMB just crank the dial on aggression, and they want all the frags they can achieve.
but they didn't even give him a chance to play around the bomb or anything, and they're shouting.
looking at the ground, and the round is won by Na'Vi. No! Stolen in the final seconds.
Now these remaining players to show and in catch those.
Oh my god, he's gonna win the round! That is karma!
That's right, this is the future of CSGO. This is the WePlay CSGO Academy League. And I am your host, James Banks, as we get to enjoy another day of fantastic Counter-Strike action from some of these young guns and up-and-coming talent. And also, I get to talk to Maui and Pimp a little bit more. This time, boys, I got myself a helmet, because Pimp was getting a little bit more threatening with that bet yesterday. And you, I don't know, you picked up the ping pong.
I'm gonna, my backhand
What
is
are
kinda
you going to
nasty.
do that? What are you going to achieve with that ping pong?
He's going to slap me.
Nice.
I love the sound effects, Maui. You get better with that.
That's it. That's all I got, guys. There's nothing left to it in the tank.
That's
But
all right.
we'll play sometime. We'll play sometime.
Yeah, all right, okay. You're probably winning that as well, you know. Been losing a foosball to you guys at the same time. Not so good at that. I think I'll just stick to Counter-Strike. Yeah.
The hell's foosball?
Foosball's
think
the
we would do
table
it. Yeah.
football game.
Is that called foosball?
How do
What
you
do you-
not
what do
know
you
what it's
call that?
called?
Table football.
Table
Oh,
football.
God.
No, it's called foosball.
Oh, okay. Well,
right.
while Pimp works out what he's doing with his life and understanding what these things are called, we should take a look at the highlights from yesterday, right? Because yesterday was a very explosive game coming out from the Young Ninjas and Na'Vi Jr. And when I say explosive, it was a little bit of back and forth in there. There was huge potential for Na'Vi Jr. to take this series 2-0. They weren't able to do it, but Young Ninjas, they certainly showed us again that there's team play, there's synergy, some of the individuals at times can show up and deliver even against some of the highest rated and best players in this league.
Speaking of individuals, Sapek and Fuzi both put up great individual performances, but of course we do always have to mention the structure of Young Ninjas, the fact that it carried them in this game, the fact that even though Mirage didn't go their way, they brought back the other two maps in a quite convincing fashion. And the Inferno performance that we saw from Na'Vi the last time these two teams faced off against each other could not be replicated. They couldn't do it again. We saw that ZTR out-calling Na'Vi Jr., pulling them, pushing them wherever he wanted, doing and putting up a very solid CT side too.
I agree, and I was slightly disappointed in Na'Vi Jr. yesterday, because on Mirage it was looking solid, especially the second half. They found a way to shut down Young Ninjas, and we kind of sat back with a feeling that, okay, if they're playing at this level, Inferno should be doable for them, but Inferno was so messy, back and forth, they couldn't convert, they couldn't win 2 rounds in a row. That was the biggest problem. They lost a lot of pistol rounds as well. We talked to Rolf yesterday, and he just laughed when he said, we're both good at losing ecos, and he was totally right. None of the two teams played well in Inferno, and at that point, right, Na'Vi Jr., after such a well-played Mirage, you come into Inferno and you can't find a way to close it out, even though you're gifted the opportunity. You're gifted not only one, but many opportunities to shut down that map. At that point, I was just feeling, okay, well, then you don't deserve to win. Then you don't deserve to send Young Ninjas down to the last gen qualifier. And that disappointed me a little bit, because I have been praising Na'Vi Jr. a lot, but I still think there's a little way to go before we can really start counting on their performances. Still too inconsistent.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? When it came to Inferno, especially the fact that this was Young Ninjas' pick, they lost to Na'Vi Jr. on it last time. We knew Young Ninjas were coming with a good game plan, but this T side, right, came through so solid. And even with Na'Vi Jr. kind of fighting back after it got very scrappy and they're trying to make it competitive in it, you did kind of have this feeling that Young Ninjas ultimately were in control.
Yeah, it's really tough for young ninjas to like actually put together some of these consistent rounds early on in the game. But once they did, yeah, they just kind of ran away with it. The calls started becoming very fluid and smooth. You could see that once they found utility on their T side, it was pretty much lights out. And the CT side too was really a testament to how good Young Ninjas could be on this map. Even when they lost control in some of these situations, they were still able to bring back some of the rounds. That's some of the hardest rounds in Counter-Strike, to lose the opening pick, and yet you still are able to find ways. And I would say I would give a lot of credit to the dually work for a few of these players. I mean, Fuzi, Sapek, they both were busting out some of those pistols, and man, like, everybody's looking really hot with the dual Berettas. It's something that is kind of a pleasant surprise lately, but it's something that we expected to be possible given that their price has been reduced in the latest patch.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, to be honest, man. Those duels, we saw a couple of highlights, right? We saw Fushi on the bomb side getting a double kill and shutting down Na'Vi, him pushing down Banana as well, getting it done. Like, they really had a high impact. It was very important rounds he did it in, so it wasn't of the fact of a cheap back. Moving on to Overpass, that's a little bit disappointing if you're Na'Vi Junior. That didn't really pan out the way we expected, I'd say. I think we all hoped for a very competitive third deciding map. We hoped that Na'Vi Junior, despite not playing the map a lot, would still have some sort of indication of what to do against a team like Young Ninjas, but as you can see in the scoreline already at this point, 5-1, you're down on the CT side. It's not good. It's not looking good for Na'Vi Junior at this point, and I lacked a little bit more of assertiveness, a little bit more proactiveness coming out of m0NESY and Ankara. It was a little bit too flat for my taste.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring up for the viewers is that if you look at the stat line, you'll see that m0NESY ended with a decent scoreline. Like, he went positive in this game, but he started really poorly. I think he was definitely 1-7 at one point, and that was when Young Ninjas were putting together a lot of rounds on the board, and he had a lot of difficulty in finding impact. So it's a map that Na'Vi Junior did not want to play last season, and you can see why. It's a map that m0NESY, even though when he's challenged, he can come up with big multi-frags, he doesn't have the same impact on this map as you will see on Dust 2 or Mirage, where he just clearly just outclasses everybody there.
And the thing we had to look at, right, is that when Na'Vi Junior came into this second half, they had a bit of fight in them. Flamey started to put up some numbers, but it wasn't the rounds that they were able to get there, and everything else was going Young Ninjas' way. And you could just see how comfortable they felt on what probably is their best map.
You can see the scoreline as well. It was 14-7, it was 15-8, and then, yes, the Flamey show happened, right? It just came in a little bit too late. It was more cosmetic than it was anything else. It was, of course, good to see Flamey play well. Good to see Flamey find impact. I think he had 12 kills the last 5 rounds, which in itself is a testament that Flamey still got it when needed the most, but it came in too late. So, yes, the scoreline, you know, doesn't really reflect how dominant Young Ninjas were on that third deciding map. It is fully deserved that they booked a spot at the LAN finals once again.
And that's it, right? Back to back. From Season 1 to Season 2, Young Ninjas getting that LAN final spot and making it through this group very clearly, right? Look at the results they had through here. Just a couple of the 2-1s going up against the Na'Vi Junior, obviously in there, but Young Ninjas the whole way through looked very confident, beat out some strong opponents with it as well. You can give them a lot of credit for this, and this now gives them more time to prepare for the LAN finals, where they watch what these other teams are going to do. Now, though, we come on to our game of the day, which is going to obviously be looking at mouz taking on fnatic, right? And remember, fnatic will then have to be going up against potentially Big Omen Academy unless they cause a big upset, because right now we don't really think any team in this whole league is going to be better than mouz Sports, and they've only got one more game to do it in. But look at the style they've had the dominance. 2-0 Fury Academy, 2-0 VP Prodigy, which, Pimp, you've been saying they've been looking a lot better, and now they could potentially be looking at another 2-0 here today.
The only team that hasn't made a change from Season 1 to Season 2 is mouz NXT, and that's such a scary prospect for everybody, given that they're the reigning champions.
Yes.
They are looking incredibly hot. Yes, VP Prodigy pushed them to the limit on one map the last time that they played against each other, but everything else has been just a dominant performance. And sometimes mouz NXT can take their foot off the gas, and sometimes the games can get a little closer than they should, but it's always because they're in so much control that they kind of take a few more risks. They take a few more individual liberties that they probably shouldn't.
I just love that you mentioned that, because, like, poor Cyclone, the coach of this team, probably sits behind every time and he's like, guys, please just close out the game, you know, give me a nice scoreline to work with.
Make it 16-5, right?
Exactly, yeah. Just do it, because we questioned it when it came to Season 1 that they were allowing these games to kind of fall away from them, and we thought, oh yeah, okay, you'll learn that with time. They're still doing it here today, but they are still winning, so you can't be too harsh on them, right?
That's true. I mean, if you're Cyclone, you sometimes may lose a bit of hair on top of your head, right? But as long as you're winning, then I don't think it's too bad. I will say, though, that I felt they were worse at doing it in Season 1. You know, they threw some bigger leads. They were making games close that had no business being close, whereas in this season so far, yes, against VP Prodigy, for example, it was a close game, but that was more so VP Prodigy playing well and not necessarily mouz Sports throwing anything or losing focus for that matter. So I think I see small improvements, but I think you hit the nail right here. The fact that they have made no change whatsoever, that they have a consistent lineup and a consistent way of approaching the games. Of course, when I say consistent so many times in a couple of sentences, that builds up consistency compared to all the other teams, and fnatic Rising for that matter as well, who made a roster change and who arguably lost one of the best rifles as well in the process. So it's not looking like a fair matchup, to be completely honest, but then again, I would be happy for a pleasant surprise tonight.
Now, when we do look at the history between these two teams, it's again very one-sided in mouz Sports' favour. There hasn't been one map that went the way of fnatic Rising overall. I do, though, remember if we come back to Season 1, we look at this, right? That first game we saw from fnatic Rising, their roster was announced just before The whole tournament started, and they pulled off. It was still a loss, but it was a 22-18 up against mousesports NXT team, right? It was a game we never even expected to go into that kind of scenario overall. And then we look down the rest of it. Okay, Fnatic won, Inferno won 16-8, but then they lost Nuke 16-7, Dust 2 16-10, Vertigo 16-14 win against for mousesports. So in general, other than the Vertigo games, it's very dominant coming out from mouz. And I'm trying to think, because where do you think Fnatic would be able to go with this? Where do they find their advantage in it? Because they've also got to deal with having a weekday Regali in play.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that. The fact that Regali is going to school right now. He's even talked about how his performance isn't as sharp because he's in class and then he's going to play these matches afterwards. It's an excuse, but it's one that is valid in the sense that he has some life priorities that he has to take care of. But what we saw on the weekend, a completely different story. We saw how strong he could be, and yeah, this drop off in numbers, the fact that he had a 1.25 rating last season and now a 1.10, you know, it's still obviously a solid performance, but for Fnatic Rising to have a chance against mouz, he's going to need a vintage Regali. He needs a season 1 Regali if they want to have any possibility of upsetting.
And you kind of said it, James, right? The fact that the history between these two lineups have been so one-sided in the favor of mouz NXT, I think a lot of it comes down to individual level on the server. Kevin can prepare as much as he would like to. He can set up his team in a perfect condition in order to know exactly what mouz NXT is doing. But simply the firepower on mouz NXT, the individual level coming up from all the players, right? They have 5 players who potentially could be the best player on Fnatic Rising, in all fairness, right? That could be the carry for their team. So you need a guy like Regali. And not only does Regali need to play well, he needs to be above and beyond, be better than Torsi, and by then, you know, allocate some focus to handle some of the riflers as well so he can help his teammates. I think Kevin and Fnatic Rising have a big task at hand right here, simply down to the fact that individually they cannot follow mouz NXT. So when it comes to prep, when it comes to understanding, when it comes to setting up your team, he has to do the absolute best he can while also praying Regali is playing well.
The big brain plays has to come through for Kevy, right? He has to be able to outthink the opposition at the same time, but hitting hard is where we look at being the problems for this team. But also, could there be a problem in the veto overall? Because when it comes to this, right, mousesports definitely have a stronger map pool.
They do. They're playing in a lot of different qualifiers, a lot of cups. They've fleshed out their 6-map pool. They know what maps that are going to play to their strengths and which ones to avoid for themselves. And when you look at Fnatic Rising, you know, they don't have all too many options here. They're probably going to pick out, I would have to say, Vertigo. I think that's probably one of the few options that they have, given that they have a pretty competitive history against mouz. But mouz is probably the best Vertigo team at the whole event, so that's still not even a great pick for you either way. They could go in for Inferno because Keve's always like that map from the entire history, and they'll go for Inferno. So that's something where they can probably they'll try to work with that. And mouz, on the other hand, I think Nuke is just a total punish pick here.
Nuke would be a total punish pick. It
There
comes
we go.
in right then. And that's mousesports, you know, saying it, okay, we're the big bosses. We play Nuke to a very high level, not only against WePlay Academy League teams, but also against, you know, top tier opposition.
Yes.
And playing that against Fnatic Rising should be a walk in the park, you know. But we said that before about, you know, favorite maps. Whereas for Inferno, more 50-50. I think Fnatic Rising showed us at the LAN finals last time around that Inferno is a map they can play to a very high level.
Yes.
But can they do it against mousesports? Can they do it without Process as well, which was a big part of the reason why they were even competitive at the LAN finals. I don't know if you remember, but Process was the only player who actually lived up to the hype, I guess, or to the level that we expected during the LAN finals for the guys. So he's not with them anymore. And then coming into Ancient as a third deciding map, I think that's a good thing for Fnatic Rising. I think Ancient in itself has more upset potential than some of the more established maps. And I think we want to go out to an upset potential map, right? Kevin can maybe find 1 or 2 ways of running a default that mousesports have never seen before. And if they can adapt to that, that can be enough to win such a new map. You still don't have enough know-how and you still don't have enough experience in order to adapt all the time. So if Kevin has done the preparation well here, Ancient is potentially an upset map, but it requires to go to a third map, and that's the biggest problem for Fnatic Rising. I'm having a hard time seeing how they're going to be able to win either Inferno or Nuke.
Yeah.
And when we say about the Inferno, right, I guess the only positive you can look at here for Fnatic is the fact that when it comes to their Inferno, it was the only map they've ever beaten mousesports on.
Yeah, so you think that it's possible here? It's just that mouz, they've only powered up. They've been playing since they've been playing in other kind of tournaments, other kinds of matches. They've been able to, you know, hone their Inferno. It's gotten better even, and the fact is that they were able last season to dispatch Young Ninjas in the grand finals of the Academy League, and they looked very they look solid.
Oh,
in
it
there.
was terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary to play against mouz NXT, man. I'll tell you for certain, I don't want to play against Exertion at Banana. Like that dude is a menace. Like he just dodges nades like Neo in the Matrix, and then he just shoots you in the face, and you're just like, I thought I threw 3 mollies at you, dude. Like what's going on here? And yet he can still find ways to take space, ways to find entry kills. And I got to bring up JDC really quickly.
Good.
Because he
like
has
him.
been incredible on CT sides. He has not dropped an opening kill on CT side. He is literally 100% success rate in CT side opening duels. Like he is a rock. Like this guy, he hasn't put up the best numbers, but it's hard to find like the stardom when everybody else on your team is playing so well. But the fact that he's never died in an opener is crazy to me.
What I also really liked about JDC when it comes to the LAN finals, right, was when some of the other team was maybe struggling or kind of getting warmed up into it, JDC was able to take the game with his own hands and just lead the charge as a true leader.
Yeah, emotionally as well. We listen to the team speak sometimes, and he's definitely one of the more vocal guys within the lineup. So I think you're right. He brings that stability and that maturity, I guess, a team of mouz NXT would need. Also, one thing I do want to point out when it comes to Inferno before I forget it, the 4v5 conversion rate for Fnatic Rising was absolutely stellar. They win 49% of their rounds with that downer, man. That is insane, and that was the biggest difference if you compared all the numbers.
Yeah.
When it comes to 5v4 conversions, they were equal, 73% of mouz NXT, 74 in Fnatic Rising. But their 4-5 conversion was basically winning half the rounds where they're down 1 man. So even if mouz NXT can get the opening pick, they still need to figure out a way to stop the rest of the train coming in from Fnatic Rising. And that's probably one thing they got going for them. Because yes, if you have the better players, you have the better entry fraggers, you will often play 4 versus 5. But if you're still strong when you're only 4 alive against a team like mouz NXT, then you may or may not have a chance. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that's the interesting stat line right there that I want to point out.
Now, it has been a pretty poor 2 days for us on terms of predictions and guessing this right, guys.
Nah.
Surely, if we all go for mouz on this one, we don't jinx it. I'm going for mouz. Maui?
I'm going to go 2-0 mouz. 2-0 mouz. No
Straight
jinx.
in with a 2-0.
No jinx. No jinx.
You guys are going to watch the Regali show. He's going to take down mouz NXT and Inferno, and then they're going to lose 2-1. But I actually do believe that Fnatic Rising have a decent shot here in Inferno. Given that they've won 5 out of 6 games they played it, and that 4v5 conversion rate, and Regali, motivated to go up against Torsi, I believe in it.
I'm normally good at getting when you're taking the mick or not, Pimp. I actually thought you were going to go for it. Then I thought he was believing that Weekend Regali was going to appear on a weekday, but maybe not. Maybe he will on Inferno. We'll have to see. It's time for us to get into our opening game. It's time for us to get back with the lovable Canadian brothers. It's Launders and Scrum.
That's right, 2 brothers from different mothers. Me and Launders ready to bring you guys into this BO3 tonight. 1 BO3, nice and easy. Quick day in the office. Or will it be? 2-0, 2-1.
I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0 for mouz. The team I'm going to pick, I'm 2-0 over anybody in the league. And I think even versus Fnatic Rising, who are good and impressive in spots, but mouz are just, they're the closest thing to, I hate to put it like this, a real team, like a team that you see. You know what I mean? Like they're the closest thing to the next Gambit Academy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're the closest.
The closest thing to the real deal.
There we go.
You know, I feel like that's maybe
a little bit less rude.
Powder it a little bit, sugarcoat it, wrap it up in a nice package.
I'm sure it sounds good for them. You know, I mean, they really just are so. There's not many holes in it. I think of Fnatic Rising. I think of they're good at retakes. They're good at set stuff. But I think they're bad at adaptation. I think they lack a little bit of talent here and there. When I think of mouz, they have one of the best operas in the league. They have a great team overall. They have 2 super strong riflers behind them. And they just make a lot of good moves, and they have adjustments, they have tactics.
Yep.
When you hear their comms sound amazing. They're like comms that not just react and tell you what's happening, but also they're comms that move the round forward. They're ideas that come into it. So I got nothing but high praise for mouz NXT.
I think it's only fair that we expect mouz to walk away with this. They are our reigning WePlay Academy League champions. They showed us on LAN why it is, of course, that they are considered those crown bearers. And they haven't really shown any hiccups real too much so far in this second season. So I think it's only fair, and I think this is what's going to happen, is just mouz just go ahead, qualify for LAN, right? They take that second spot, lock in their future, and allow Fnatic Rising to go back down into the last chance qualifier, where there is a pack of talent still nipping at the heels of everybody else. You know, I think Fnatic Rising is definitely the best challenger from this group. I think the right teams ended up on top. We saw the wild Roofire type situation not follow through. You know, Fnatic got their revenge versus VPP.
The roof is on fire.
Follow the leader.
We don't need no water because of burn.
But mouz are the leaders. Go for it. Hey, man, you belt your heart out, Launders. All right? We could turn this into karaoke now.
No, all my friends are Korean back home, and so I go to karaoke all the time. But even after years of karaoke, I've never gotten better. It's a lie that practice makes perfect.
At least in some
Talent
regards.
is everything.
Yeah,
and mouz are full of it.
From top to bottom, from toad to forehead.
You say from toad to forehead.
I did accidentally add a D.
Frog to frog to
From frog to prince.
Okay.
That's the tale of Fnatic Rising, right? They're trying to be the challenger, trying to come out on top of it. But Inferno, I think, is a good place to maybe size up both of these teams, see which form we're going to get. To me, it's like, you know, the whole. At first, it was a meme, but I think it turned into something truthful, like the weekend Regali. He did look legitimately better than ever so far this season in their last showing. If we get that Regali, I think Fnatic Rising have the pieces to at least challenge, and it's going to come down to some good decision making. They're definitely going to have to play catch up to mouz NXT. If we don't get that Regali, I think the gap is so much more significant that mouz should be able to take this one 2-0. But enough of talking on our behalf. Let's let the players speak for themselves. They're already going to be challenging to the top of middle. Shane and Torzy, 2 kills already. The brackets hold looks good for the CTs. Palace could be in question, but we'll see. First, it's Boiler. And, oh man, they run it back. Round 2, just a couple knockouts. It's 2Ks with 2Ks, and then that final frag. mouz NXT take pistol.
Yeah, they wanted to test mid, but the crossfire was right there. They wanted the play to come directly on mid. They got it.
Too strong.
Yes, that net, yeah. Counter-Strike's all about crossfires at a very basic level, and that's just one reason why. You just split the attention of the offense, and if they knew that it was a setup like that, they would have smoked one side, they would have avoided it completely, but they wouldn't have approached that way. So NT for Fnatic Rising, but that's a round for mouz NXT, and now all eyes are on Torzy with the spawn towards mid and the scout in hand as well. And this is a guy who's probably been the most impressive for his T-side opping, I'd say, where he's able to find impact where others, I think, are not. Where he looks like, honestly, the most experienced and most, like, thorough opper that we have in the league.
Agreed. Entirely.
I never have any questions about Torzy when it comes to, like, is he trying to set up his team? Is he actually taking the right risks? Is he actually going for opening kills? Does he trust his timings? Like, he always is happy to take the risks, trust his aim, and he delivers. You know, maybe unfair to say that he's as talented as someone like m0NESY, but for what it's worth, within this system, he's being used perfectly.
Shane Shui setting up alongside JDC inside the A site, but it's all Shui. The other 2 defenders go down without anything. Luckily, Shui's able to find 2 kills, but regardless, those M4s are now picked up by Keve and KSD. That was a very tight-knit pack attack from Fnatic Rising, and I give props for that. They got in quickly, they dealt with the threats, and the flashes were beautiful. JDC didn't see a thing.
What do you call that strat?
The pack attack.
The pack attack, the snack attack?
Yeah, Fnatic Rising's A-lane pack attack.
I like that.
Torzy never really got a chance to shoot at anything. They moved by him so fast through middle.
Yeah, he was there spotting mid, but the pack attack came, and they were the Protoss death ball. That's what they were.
Ooh. Okay, Regali's not allowed to walk away, but whatever. It's still the 2 M4s and the force buy round win.
Oh, we're gonna try to punt. Oh, okay.
Nope.
Okay, they had nothing else to watch. He's like, okay, if this comes, I'm stopping it. I'm stiff arming him.
Throw him on the ground.
Oh, that's great. Great attack from Fnatic Rising. It's always nice to see teams that can make their ecos go far, their force-ups go far. And it's a round where they get a plant on top of the win. They recover 2 M4s. That's always beautiful to see. And in this spot, Shui just wished he had like 2 more bullets. But I think he was the only one in the setup to get the kills.
Yes, he was. We're going to jump into the mouz TeamSpeak, see how they feel after getting wrecked by the force buy.
Almost him. Not peeking.
Close, one B. I think.
One is
Net
left.
cross, net cross. I did flashing behind. Back on the roof. Flashing to the right, they see it. Close. Too close, I'm blind, too close. One more.
I'm rotating
I smoke
I think we should fall back.
Two more banana.
Coming B with you.
We have it. Yeah, we have it. It's fine. Just give me the smoke and leave us. Give me smoke.
I have smoke in pit.
Okay. And leave us. Come on, let's play. Yeah, I'll play first.
Go long.
Fine, I'll take it.
I will throw first smokes. Spawning around. You can, if they pop me, just smoke and push the smoke on.
No naps. I don't see long. I'm jiggling it.
Smoke long.
Smoke long. Wait, smoke.
Can be, guys. I
One
think it's
banana,
B.
one B.
Johnny, you should go B.
I smoked.
Rotating.
Looks like B.
You should
I'm not
go
pushing.
B too. Go bad.
He also helped me. One
Yeah,
dead.
sorry.
One out. Come on. One more. Two. Three.
Okay, we can win this. I have one smoke.
Tab ruins.
Go to ruins.
You have a flash?
I will stay on city. No.
They resmoke ruins.
One is
One
Okay,
dark.
I smoke city.
One is on
like
top of
this.
dark or dark.
This is the smoke with Jantro.
Yeah. No.
Or yeah.
It's to the right. You see the antenna? Yeah.
One
Yeah.
a second, I think.
Yeah.
1 second, guys.
I did the lurk smoke. I mean,
I think you guys just
Take smoke.
try to kill them. You don't. I mean.
We have no kid.
Yeah, it's fine. Just let them come out and kill them. For sure.
One is first.
don't
One is
pick him.
first.
Yeah. One
One
dark
is
still.
first
Bobby.
and one is dark.
Dark. Dead.
Nice,
One is
one
first.
And banana
He's
picking.
Chasing
coming
you.
city.
That's right.
Nice try, good eco, guys.
Nice.
Is this the smoke?
Is this the one?
This one?
This one?
This edge?
We've been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, if you throw, I've literally done the exact same thing, and if you throw it on the other lineup, it just goes all the way down banana. It just goes all the way down banana. It's so funny. But they figured it out. That's a funny smoke to forget, honestly, because a really important retake smoke. But luckily, Shuhei is there to give the guidance, man. Honestly, I always appreciate that when you're listening to mouz NXT, you can always hear, a lot going on, but Shuhei above the rest as the IGL seems like the calmest, clearest voice.
The most decisive. Leader of the pack. Another pack attack. This one gets ripped to shreds, however. Easy anti-eco for Fnatic Rising. Yeah, okay, one kill slips through the fingertips of the T side, but it's a 3-1 lead regardless. And mouz right back into buying ways.
Pepser saved him last round.
Man, that's
that running M4 flick around, hit him with the end of the barrel. Right in the face.
Yeah, I like that,
cracked his jaw.
They had their utility well kept. They had, an organization in place. They had procedure. But then Pepsor just snaps him with him. And all of a sudden, B-site breaks loose. No ops in play.
No ops at all. It's a money problem for mouz NXT. Time to strike for Fnatic Rising. We saw a very nice pocket strat on that eco round. Fast up mid, broke down lane. When they traded, I mean, mouz were ready in some sense, but could not get that material advantage. And look, it's the same thing again, it looks like.
Yeah, they're getting close. Oh, insta headshot coming in from Banjo.
Wee.
Shane's going to be eating the side of flashes, but KST is able to assist him. Shane, however, is able to recover. Again, it's Shane with the 2K. There's 2 rounds in a row now, or not in a row, but the last 2 A plays coming out of Fnatic Rising. There's been 3 CTs in the site. Shane's delivered a 2K both times. Both his teammates have delivered no kills both times as well. Matter of getting this war machine revved up. Shui's not going to expect Keve on peak like that, not with the smoke in his face. He thought everything was behind it, and now Exertion has no play to make in this 1v3. So
those entries are bonkers, man.
Yes, sir. Fnatic Rising, do it again.
They, if they felt it coming, I think they needed to drop their incendiary there on lane, but they didn't have time to do it, and that's without the bracket. That's just really cool because they come from right from inside mid all the way into lane with those set nades, not even having to take bracket control normally and scope it out or anything like that. So got to appreciate actually, how powerful that is, and that's something that they could probably use again and see if they're going to be able to test them. But bonkers from Banjo. If he didn't have such a silly name, I'd take him more seriously. He's sick, man.
And he's been one of the pleasant surprises for me for Fnatic Rising. I wasn't thinking much of Banjo when we came into the season, but game after game, he's always leaving an even better impression. Each match, better impression as Banjo walks away from the server. So that's a nice touch. Fnatic Rising off to the races on this T side.
mouz want to be maybe a little bit more proactive when it comes to their lane defense, just in case, just to stop this one thing that's worked really well twice. And they could chalk it up to, oh, right, well, we could have had a better hold there, but that still could possibly happen again, and that might mean the defense might want to come forward a bit, take overhauls early, for example, could even be a remedy as opposed to fighting inside of lane. And
just make sure that Fnatic don't try it again, or at least if they do, to shut them down. But Fnatic Rising, they probably got their eyes on other things at this point. That's a super strong thing conditioning-wise to be able to say they were able to accomplish. And now they can work the rest of the map while the CTs are just scared of that for a few rounds.
One M4. Just the one. Smoke grenades in abundance.
They ended B last time on this. Oh, on this eco. Triple nade. Onto Banana.
Nets him nothing. No play towards A side. They are... Oh, CTs are doing the right thing here. They're stacked up on the proper bomb site. It's a total gamble.
Yeah,
an uninformed gamble, but...
I don't know if they pop. They didn't use too many nades, so they used the one, they draw out one. And they can, of course, win that... win the race when it comes to, who can re-smoke more, who can execute further. Still a minute up, another smoke goes down. They feel it coming, and Fnatic Rising have to judge, do they want to come to the site? And we could see it's not one guy re-smoking over and over again. It's a few. And Fnatic Rising will take their talents to the other side of the map.
Yeah, the smoke grenades kind of scared them away.
Yeah, funnily enough, they're trying to encourage them forward with the smoke grenades, but Fnatic Rising say, all right, I think we've seen this before.
Yeah, something's fishy. Something doesn't smell right.
Nice from them. They still have enough time to come through the proper exec.
JDC. Oh, he gets blinded. Again, the utility is just on point for Fnatic Rising. Each and every time we've seen these A defenders kind of get mulled over by utility. How much of a risk you want to run on this very unlikely retake? They still held on to the 2 smoke grenades, one of which is also coupled with Exertion's M4 and armor. So he doesn't want to die. But at least get the exits, right? You've got little to lose. You want to curb some of that money. So I expect the pistol players to stick around and Exertion to just ensure that he saves. Fnatic Rising, 3 clean B hits, this time the freest of all of those attacks.
Yeah, they want to do damage. This is a brave call from Keve. You got to appreciate that. He reads into the situation absolutely perfectly. Everybody is with it, and he doesn't make this call too late. There's always that moment where you think, we really want to take B here. Yep. We were intent on it. We waited 2 smokes to try to do it, and this third one is going to turn us away. Then you really feel like a fool if it's actually a stack on the other side of the map, but they have the perfect read, and again, gave them enough time where they worked Banana early enough where they could wait out 2 smokes and still be safely able to rotate over. I think that's such a big thing when it comes to T-side teams at every level is, when are they making those emergency moves? How in control is the IGL of the entire round?
In that case, everything was calculated. They walk away with a near perfect answer. They'll lose a player, so be it. Red hot T-side so far. Nice little jump peek for Pepsor to get a off shot out of the CTs and force him back to a different angle. Exertion tries to push through smoke. Banjo keeps him honest. Banjo losing 1/3 of his HP to the frag grenade, but...
And Shui shot in the back, tried to get them to shoot through it, made it feel like he was the only one there.
They didn't fall for it. Not for a second. Torzi going to re-aggress into middle. Oh, but it's being held.
There it is.
Ollie winning a heads-up op versus op duel because his angle being held was perfect. JDC finds the shaving away of a single terrorist towards mid. Shane's in with 1. And if anybody's been in consistency so far, it's Shane on A.
They punished him from halls. That's the lane player out. Oh, another punish. KST, very nice.
Shui gets drawn back in. He'll be able to find 1 kill in this 1v3, but how about the others? They're going to go all the way back over towards B, almost bringing that bomb back into A because of KST's success, but seeing as everybody was there from mouz NXT, you got to tip your hat to that. KST ends up getting 2 kills in this 3 versus 3, and on top of it, all the information needed for a rock-solid rotation, post-plant, and what should be round win.
You see they try this time to take the fight to Fnatic inside of mid, and Fnatic are thinking 1 step ahead, with Regali holding that very shallow angle with a similar exec looking like it's getting prepared. And then Regali just punishes. Obviously, he's got the advantage when he holds that angle, and that's exactly what they needed him to do, not be more aggressive than that. They read mouz NXT, trying to adapt to the situation. And mouz still come through with some better trades, honestly, on the A site using this strategy, even though they were prepared for it. But look how they covered this. So beautiful.
Laying down lead. You know, the one chance. JDC getting 1 kill there. Shane as well pushes through smoke, gets a double. Or just a single, excuse me.
They're just better.
Yep, tonight they are. Fnatic Rising coming into this with a very, very clean T side thus far. But it's not over till it's over. Now's NXT just got to give us a reason to believe in them. M4, the only one of the round, goes in. Does enough damage for Shui's Molotov to finish off Banjo.
That's actually 2 guns, so this is a moment where the T's might think, all right, here's our opportunity. There could be pistols, you know, maybe we want to make a snap call, and the nade to try to punch him back a bit. Let's see if Torzy, he can find one. This is huge. They can also recover the gun, rotate back. Oh, God, Torzy, he's still up there, man. He's still up there.
They thought he had left.
Oh, this information's going to be gained.
It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. He's already got 2 servings.
Just back default, guys, everything. He doesn't want to peek, but...
This spot's actually cost the terrorists before, and it's going to cost them again. Regali locked into the pit, being swarmed in the 1v4. mouz able to stick the landing with just the Desert Eagles. Nice boost, and I love the commitment to it. To go back for a second play, that's so tricky. But in a match like this where you're already down, I think that's when you have to start pulling out the gimmicks.
Like, oh, they got it. They're going to leave and rotate and do the normal play. But sometimes it is a nice gamble to actually just stay. And that's the one they needed to take.
That was fun. That's a fun little round.
Yeah.
You don't get to see those often.
Great tactic. And I think mouz also read that very well, where the trades came down rifle to rifle on Banana. And it's like, well, the CTs will want to get these guns back. But actually, mouz do not even go and collect those guns at all. They just make the rotation over to the A site.
Look at the information that the op is posting Banana. Smoked off right away. Good kickstart for mouz NXT. See if they can really run with this one. They just ripped the ball back into their hands.
So curious to see where the ideas go now for mouz NXT, you know, and Fnatic Rising, because you could see, I mean, Fnatic Rising may very well do something similar on mid. And so what is the plan from Shuhi when it comes to the approach? Do they retake mid? You know, there's the re-smoking inside of mid is a big one when you think a team is going to approach it. And look at the strat. It's actually leaning towards A. They have done nothing on B, though, so there's a lot of rotations here. Oh, it's a fake.
Ooh, that it is.
But they're... Wait, they slowed down a bit.
Oh, a second.
A smoke pops in front of him. Exertion's still aware of this. Might get caught off on a timing. We'll see. KST sneaks by him.
Lines up the 2 players, only takes the first.
Oh my God, everyone's leaving the A site now. I mean, Jesus, this was so disruptive. 3 dead on Arch.
I don't know how Exertion makes that one look so easy. He's still here towards the B site, peeks in just as that flash pops. Regali now finding himself on his own. 2 counter-terrorists in position, and all it takes is an Exertion swing for the fences. 2 kills on Arch, rotates to B, gets in for that last frag.
Yeah.
The fact that he slowed them down so much on Arch side, they were challenging through smokes by the looks of it.
They tried something new, so
we'll see. Yeah.
I think they dropped this. They dropped this Arch smoke while Fnatic Rising were already going to commit. And I don't know if they read this perfectly, but you know, we've seen Fnatic Rising do similar stuff in mid and set up and take lane. So if mouz NXT are the one to drop that smoke, or actually maybe Fnatic Rising just walk through it because they assume it's going to look like a lane take. Maybe that's what happens, but I don't know who threw it exactly.
And to be fair, it's one thing to kill the player who's got his back turned after walking through smoke. The second kill there from Exertion to line that up as the player's just still tucked on the other side in Cubby.
It's unfair.
Quite rude. Quite rude, if you ask me.
Run from the Deagle.
Now mouz have a real chance because it's just that AK-47 on KST with a couple sets of Kevlar.
Yeah, it's a deep roster with a lot of ideas. That's the scariest part for Fnatic Rising. Some of the set stuff's been beautiful, though. Loving what we're seeing. But that round, you know, mouz were just as aggressive as they needed to be. Being able to get vision on Banana, rotate over towards A. They had a lot of outs. Even if they got caught out, they still had 4 players on the site.
Let's see if they can rock the boat back into their favor. Torzy.'s got a smoke to hide behind. But this does open up Arch route. Big time. And he finds the first kill. Banjo taken out. That's a freaking dink versus Torzy, man. KST primed as he did have that AK, the solo AK. Exertion locks in Banana. JDC wants to attack these T's from the back as they continue their wrap around in the spawn, and it's done. mouz NXT with a round of the scoreboard, 4 players standing, and only a 2-round lead to take back.
About as vanilla as it can get for the hold. I mean, they're all in standard spots, and they're just ready. They just need Torzy to be able to confirm it's through B, through CT spawn for the B guys to adequately adapt with their positions, and that's just what happened. They took a spot on the end of Banana as well as one watching spawn and helped with the rotations after Torzy died. And mouz put a well and much needed 4th on the board.
But they can't stop here. Gotta keep this ball rolling. Starting to be a bit more proactive, I think, towards mid. Torzy taking this angle towards alt. They hear the utility usage down into the apartments. Should have seen a leg, maybe.
Yeah, the smoke is specifically to get a nice deep angle while standing inside of mid. No duels coming his way just yet. He smells the opportunity. And while Torzy is right in front of the smoke in mid, ready for the smoke to fade as well, he'll also see nothing here. Well, this might help him lean. Look, it initiates that Molotov over on the other side of the map. That's a calm. Now they reinforce. I don't think this arch smoke is going to scare them at all. Now we know fnatic Rising are going to go B. It should be kind of obvious actually here to mouz NXT because of Torzy's info.
Smoke on the forefront. They all hug the wall, run right into the molly. And Exertion, well, he's got himself a couple. Banjo's got an answer, and he could wrap around construction. So now suddenly Shui can't help the teammate backside, but Exertion seems to be a one-man army. He chops down 3 players on this B hit. KST found out by Shui on the top of coffins. So between Exertion and Shui, it is a full house on the B site. 3 and 2 frags apiece, 4 rounds in a row for mouz NXT. The CT sides come alive. Yes, fnatic Rising came sprinting out the gate, but they've been somewhat gassed out by the defense now.
Playing so off that information, and you can tell the comms are great by the way that the utility is moving around the map and also the players. So back to pistols here for fnatic Rising.
Ooh, op shot from Torzy. He gets dinked, man. That's unbelievable.
Holy.
They drop him down to 27.
I mean, it's interesting they don't even pair that with an alt flash. I wonder if they didn't want people to talk, and that's why they said, well, maybe it's good to actually just take the duels dry.
Now it's left their opper so wounded. Exertion fighting tooth and nail for Banana, but wasn't really too much of a fight. fnatic Rising going to let that one slide.
This is an easy rotation here for mouz.
Yep.
I think they feel compelled to have to kind of disrespect the info on B, but they don't have the resources to do so. They've just got to win the gunfights now.
Throwing JDC forward to try and spot into mid, but they see nothing. Yeah, a little bit hesitant, a little nervous about this potential pistol push. Shui decides to go back in. But the way he fell off tells me he anticipates not just 1 or 2 players to walk out. He expects that big pack mentality that we've seen them use before.
Oh.
And maybe that's a reason to be scared. Pepzor very quickly takes his head off. Torzy's going to keep himself open towards Arch, dives back into the site. He's got cover from Graveyard, and not to mention back corner sight from JDC. That goes very well.
That's beautiful. And like, you can see inside of Graveyard, the real special thing there as well is like once he gets the kill, Graveyard does not stay tucked the whole time. He swings out a little bit to the left and holds an aggressive angle on Halls because Torzy's standing out in the open. If he doesn't do that, then Torzy can get shot in the back. But if he does do that, Torzy can get really deep and make sure to punish the arch trap before it begins. So that's another situation where they really do believe each other when it comes to the information. They make the adjustments they need to make. And right now, it's just really hard for fnatic Rising to do anything tricky.
Ooh, dinks.
He gets dinked every single time.
That's crazy.
No matter where.
At least this time it's only 12 HP. Still, it sends a message. That sounds
Sends the pitch
sensitive.
edge.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh,
nice one.
Man, that's a beautiful spray. That's like that's a close your eyes spray. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he felt that.
Yeah,
one.
you
He
visualize that. That was a recoil master spray right there. That was 30 out of 30.
Well, props for it. He's then replaced, of course. Exertion working over towards Arch, leaving the op on Banana instead. Pepsor trying to be safe about clearing these angles, but we'll see if Exertion's spot can catch him off.
He's so low. He has to flick down a little bit. Oh, the crouch peak.
He's going to walk into it. Oh, he gets wrecked. Pepsor with the headshot. And an opening kill into the CT spawn. Now, if they go up Banana, we had mouz choose to put Torzy in this position. And the longer he stays locked in,
they're trying to make Torzy as uncomfortable as possible. And he might have an opportunity. Oh, my God.
Collateral drops the bomb, 25 seconds. One of his two teammates is going to come sprinting over because they're not sure if this terrorist is actually wrapped around B or if he could still be back in Arch. But as long as they can play bomb, then they're good. They've got this. The collateral from Torzy, dude. He sat here at Banana with no info, no challenge, no peeks, no nothing for so long. And now the B player dies to the op as well. Torzy with the 3K. Yeah, you can feel yourself, buddy. That was a nice shot.
You can see the skill of Regali in every single map. Like even on the days, like the not off days, the ones where he couldn't deathmatch as much and stuff like that. I don't think his aim is the problem. You know, he always is like can be kind of explosive, but you see the Regali impact like once every few rounds. You see like some big attempt and a clutch, and you see how smart he is and everything like that. But it's not quite the same level. I feel like as what what we're getting out of Torzy, just all the information he's getting, how active he is, how many plays he makes in every single map, and it's not actually a symptom for me of how good the individual is. Just again how he's using the team.
Oh my God.
Well, that's payback.
Who are you bigging up?
That's payback. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, what was that, Regali? Yeah, we only feel Regali's impact every couple of rounds. Well, here's one for you.
Okay, yeah.
That is ridiculous. 2 Deagle kills. And it looked like he never stopped moving. Shane, though, he's been so consistent to putting up the numbers when they do question this A-site Exertion, dying out to Regali, who has basically killed everybody and everything in his ways.
Oh, they're running away. And I don't know if this was heard. It actually might have been from inside the site. They'll make the sprint. This is where Regali can post on CT. He has the op, but he's actually not going to beat them. He's got the utility to cross. HP is low. Oh, man, the boost. This either, makes you look like a genius or it makes you look crazy, and we'll see which one that'll be. Regali looking for the ace now.
Oh, player jumps through. He's going to be ready for Shui. Hits it. Come on, Regali. One more. Just one more, and Shane has 4 HP, so a pistol shot would do the trick.
Oh.
But instead, Shane's patience pays off, and he will body bag a third for himself, tying this game at 7.
Damn, so close.
Wow, nice effort.
Regali does absolutely. I feel like that happens so often where he has he comes so close to winning like a most ridiculous clutch. We've seen it so many times from Regali. And the individual skill from him does, it always manages to shine through. Like, I never really seemed like he was ever bad, even though he claimed that, on his day off, he's better and whatever. He was always got it, but Shane's been a good player. Shane's been a hell of a good player this game. And obviously the move there is if someone's at quad and they can't see and you could be walking up at a 7-second timing or something like that, they could be rapping on you and you just feel stupid. So, he knows he's going to take a peek at one point or another.
Then there's the difficult part of landing that instant headshot.
Yes. He could still lose, but
Shane pulled it off.
Wow. Torzy played blood sacrifice here from Torzy. And get that B info at Fnatic Rising. They got it. They have to be uncomfortable about this unless they're going to move into their side attack right away. The insane call would be just fake mid, hit B right away, just because you can see that mouz just took Banana, but I fear that they're playing a bit too reactively to get an edge.
Fun half of Counter-Strike, I have to say.
So good.
Yep. I had high hopes for tonight's match. And so far...
Oh, this is good, though. At least call the attention. Wow, man. Actually, Exertion still goes over towards the A site.
They're all set up outside it. No play to the B side at all. So Fnatic Rising banking on this hit. Now, more often than not, we have seen this exact 3-man core inside of the A site ultimately die out with 2 players going down for free and 1 guy with a multi-kill. But this is just crazy. They're going to have 5 seconds to spare if they push in right now, and it just collapses around them. So a very uninspiring end to a relatively impressive start.
Damn.
Fnatic Rising, not too bad to begin with, but that, folks, is, in fact, 8 rounds straight from mouz NXT to finish.
That was the worst round that we've seen from Fnatic Rising, and that's just to say...
I don't like it.
No, I mean, that's just to say that, like, mouz won so many different kinds of rounds versus them. They were just terrified. Like, they wanted to make this play, but they just felt like the info is always in the hands of mouz. They made those rotations. This is a round where they actually won Banana back. They had Torzy leave off of 1 flash, had 30 HP sitting at Coffins with his op. If they exect B, they probably just win. Torzy's not going to be able to get a shot off, and then they have to go for a full-on retake with the T's coming into the site. But at this point, mouz are just so confident with the amount of times that they've been able to get the information and read them. They knew it was going to be A. They just called for the stack over, man. When Exertion started making his way back to Arch, it was like, oh my god. The confidence in this game changed up so much.
Confidence is king.
So I feel like there's 2 things that Fnatic Rising are really good at. Winning pistol rounds and just having great starts.
Sure.
They're so good at when like getting away with their set pieces. They're so good on these pistol rounds, especially when it comes to retake situations. And full credit, that's something that a lot of teams need to work on. Like, how many times do you hear someone say we just have our slow starts and stuff like that? You know? It seems like, well, what does that mean? But I mean, Fnatic Rising are a team that clearly know how to enforce it, like scare someone with a game plan right out of the gate. But this isn't the first time we've seen them just fall off as the half goes on.
Fair. Fair is fair. mouz, so many in a row to close that I'll be confident swapping to the T side.
Was that literally 9?
Exertion and Shane at the top of it. We've got a mouz team speak here for the second pistol. Let's see if they can establish double digits as quick as they can.
I don't take the bomber, right? I will drop it too.
Yeah, you can give it to us. We just wait for mid push. Let's go left side, left side.
Oh, sorry.
Nothing spotting.
I'll go before so I don't block.
I'm coming to you guys.
I don't hear anything but now.
Let's contact B now.
Yeah.
Adam, you will do smoke.
Let
me
search
and then
first,
flash above CT.
Let me first. Let me search. I like to pick this angle.
I think you will
He's
for sure.
picking from Hobbit. Maybe flash now.
Maybe one time back or flashing. I'm out of flash.
No. No.
I'm ready.
Smoke. He will for sure smoke it. Smoke.
Smoke.
Flash.
Flashing first. Flashing CT.
Take ruins, guys.
I'm playing maybe
Triple. And one CT.
I'm blind.
Yeah, breathe.
Triple. We should
I'm
push him.
pushing.
And ruins. Ruins and triple.
I push one sky.
Triple.
Triple dead.
CT1.
2v3.
Fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
2v3.
You got this.
I resmoke city. It's
Yeah,
good.
dude.
I think they will
guys
come
have
banana.
killer.
Can you plant front then?
Yeah.
2 city.
I mean, it's open for banana now.
I will go banana. Let's walk banana, Johnny. Come.
Ruins there.
Nice
try.
Good plan.
There was a second there where they definitely lost track of our last man up. They were watching Banana, not the CT spawn, but then Pepsor, you could see how hungry those Berettas were.
Yeah.
When he didn't find his kill on the other side of smoke.
How's the accuracy on the Berettas? Like, I know
not bad.
It gets messy with like because you're supposed to spam with it.
Yeah.
But that first bullet accuracy, like at
Great.
distance, great too.
It's great.
They're just
I'd say the first 2.
yeah.
First 2, first 3.
Might be all you need. And it rips through armor, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you put that thing into the gut. These ragdolls are so good. Honestly, like for a change that wasn't even mentioned in the change log, like I give you full credit. They weren't even fishing for the credit.
No.
You know, some people need to fish for compliments.
Yeah.
CS:GO didn't. They didn't even tell us about it until we noticed it for ourselves.
They didn't mention.
And they still haven't said anything about
They
it.
still haven't acknowledged.
Maybe they didn't mean to do it.
That would be so normal, actually.
You know, it's like we didn't intend for this change, but at this point, I'm too afraid to tell everybody. Little challenge here towards Arch.
But yeah, I guess Did you know it's like the... Oh, okay, well, oh my god, no, not an eco.
Hold your tongue.
Not an eco.
Hold your tongue, Launders. Regali.
Oh!
Regali, and he's not alone on Arch either.
That's the whole site.
It has fallen.
Oh, man, you give up good guns here, too.
Uh-oh.
Here, this is a chance. It's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Banjo survives with almost all of his health as well, so that's a nice touch. 98 HP. Banjo and Keve for the 2v3 retake. Begin out, bang, dong. Still didn't bring me any spoons to play, Mohan. You need to bring me some spoons. Utility throwing out. Nothing to deal with the players inside of the site. They're going to jump in with the MP9. That's a wild play from Keve. 2 frags for Banjo. A valiant attempt. He gets 3 kills on the round, but mouz, with their lesser buy, crack through the defense of the A site.
I think Fnatic Rising have won every single pistol at this tournament, and I have no stats to prove it because I didn't look it up. But I'm still waiting for someone to show me Fnatic Rising's pistol stats, and that means you, Pimp. Come on, where are the stats?
If you say it with enough confidence.
Pimp!
Pimp.
Pimpermuckle.
Pumpernickel. That's a thing, right?
Yes.
Spice? What does it taste like?
Do you nuts?
Okay. I was asking for that one.
You know Wilma?
Our makeup lady?
Wilma Nuts.
Oh my god. Well, that doesn't even make sense.
I don't have to do the whole thing anymore. You just got Wilma, dude.
God damn it.
Yep. You have to walk that one off.
Well, I can't go anywhere. I'm tethered to the commentary. We're here for better or for worse. You and I.
I'm having fun.
Me too.
You never asked me to bring you spoons.
I just thought you would.
Oh, okay.
But they need to be metal.
What about DN spoons?
No. Stop.
What?
That was funny.
All right.
Eol MP9 from the CT side in the hands of Banjo. Tried to play it down banana. Bananjo. But they leave and they go stack A site. Where sure enough, mouz NXT are looking to sink their teeth. But will it be like biting into a jawbreaker?
Or the gobstopper.
Ooh, chewy centers. KST, Regali, they've got 2 kills, but that's where it all stops. Shane, double Galil kill. They pushed out of the apartments as the CTs were trying to fight up close lane. A nice attempt from Fnatic Rising, but an 11th for mouz NXT. Unless the Banjo Man has a 1v3 to his name. Shui's had enough. Sit down, he says, as he blows Banjo into tomorrow. We've got, of course, mouz on a tear.
Polish power.
Putting the war in Warsaw.
Do you remember the beer that we had in Cato? Remember in the hotel lobby, the bartender always kept us drinking this beer. It was just like the Polish beer. Do you remember what it's called?
No.
Okay. I remember, I just like went over it today with one of my Polish subs, like how to pronounce it properly. Remember it had a crazy pronunciation. I'll show it to you after.
I'm waiting for this to turn into a play on words joke. Dude, you've got me so nervous.
I'm sorry, no, you're fine.
I'm like,
fine.
a Polish word?
No, yeah.
What was the name of it? I feel like I'm walking on eggshells made of landmines.
Ball-shaped eggshells.
In a booby-trapped rainforest.
Well, again, like Fnatic Rising, they got another pistol, but they get the E-code, and then it's mouz NXT to say, okay, we're not going to get E-code ourselves. And here's the money-making round.
Boom.
Here's the freebie. They've earned it. Well, this is 12 rounds in a row. 12 rounds in a row for mouz NXT. Since they hit, they haven't missed.
Is it really?
I think they haven't lost a round.
Maybe a one-off. Either way.
Can we? Oh wait, sorry. It was
like
sorry.
one-off,
Sorry.
right?
Fnatic Rising won the pistol. Sorry, that was the one round. Okay, so 12 out of the last 13 rounds, I guess, or 11 out of the last 12 rounds that mouz Sports have won.
Holy hell! Yeah, look up there. Look at them. Look at them purple and yellow skull. Purple and green.
Bonkers.
Is this green or yellow? The color of the terrorist.
The math almost right. 10 out of 11, I think, is the pistol.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
You didn't answer my. Is this green or yellow? The color of the terrorists here at WePlay. I like the HUD. I really do like this HUD. It took me a little while to get used to it, but now that we have it, I like it. But what are the colors? Purple and
swampy.
That's not swampy. Swamps are dirty.
Get out of my swamp, donkey!
I know you want me to do it.
Dude, please, donkey, say it. You're not a donkey. I'm just saying, you get it.
Get out to my swamp, donkey!
We're at a bar with me and Maui and... Oh, okay, hold on a second. Wait,
Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Pepsor's here.
Dude, Pepsor's always good for one. I like a Pepsor play.
Sometimes he gets two and doesn't die.
But he always, I always feel like when I'm watching him take a risk, I'm like, ooh, this might not work.
And then
but he's always good for one.
Yeah.
I like it. He's got pep in the step and a frag on the kill feed here in round 20. Minute on the clock. Couple bodies blocking up in the apps. Pepsor holds it. Oh, he finds the timing on the reload. JDC jumps down.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Pepsor shot a few bullets, goes for the reload, and on that reload, boom!
Boom!
Sucker punch.
Imagine reloading.
Oh, he reloaded.
That
little.
Oh
my God! If you rewatch that
out of
round,
halls and jump out into the pit, that's it.
And nobody. The thing is, I was like, nobody else. None of the. There was 2 other CTs on the site.
He was spotting,
and they weren't holding because it was Pepsor who was going to hold the apartment. But once he goes for his reload, somebody else should have just used that chance to look.
He's never going to reload again.
Oh,
he's never going to reload again in his life.
He reloaded. If they watch back this VOD,
that's traumatic.
They're like, wait, what happened just now? He's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
They just walked right out.
You were watching that? The hell, man!
They were just walking right out.
So the other day we were in a bar, and it was me and Maui, and we just kept saying "donkey" at Connor. If you said it enough times after we had a few shots, he would do the whole "Get out of my swamp, donkey" or whatever from Shrek, because Maui has a Shrek Supreme shirt, so that's how the conversation started, I think. But Connor's so good at impressions, and he would just be like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. We go, donkey, 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 and eventually he'd be able to say it. So if you ever see Scrawny in real life, just yell donkey at him.
Please don't.
Do it on land.
Please don't.
Especially it'd be funny if he was like casting or like right about to start a segment, and then it's not of his own volition, but
I can't help myself.
It's uncontrollable, yeah.
It's like a tick.
He'll do it, yeah.
There's a few of them too.
It's involuntary.
You just know which buttons to push, Mo.
He doesn't have Tourette's except that moment. Ooh,
JDC,
nice
yeah,
trades.
a victim of pushing buttons, in the fact that fnatic Rising have walked into the apartments, clicked all the heads they had to, and this one looks flawless. Shui's gonna burn up in the Molotov, and sure enough, fnatic Rising, okay, they suddenly win a CT round, because they go into the apartments, they fight on 3 separate fronts, and every single individual wins a 1v1 to take an 8th round. Now, is that something they can replicate? Is that something they can do again?
Yeah, it's not a gimmicky round. It's just a nice setup. It calls out mouz NXT in the default. So much more work to do though before they can show that this can be convincing for them. But that is a nice place to start. You know, they read all of these different engagements really well. And look at Regali also hanging out of mid with the perfect flash tactics as well. So it's just that mouz Sports. They have rounds to play with. So we can't get too excited for some obscene comeback here from fnatic Rising. They've got some work to do to win this confidence. And it's pretty scary how, you know, mouz were able to organize off that one reload sound that previous round and just turn that into the site hit. So they've got fnatic Rising on edge. Regali stepped up to the plate. We know he's quick. We know he's explosive.
Ooh, but he's walking into a risk.
Oh, he's gonna get. I think he gets. He must have been seen from the boiler there.
For a second, I wasn't sure if he was gonna get back. Oh,
okay.
Shuts down JDC. Nice shot. Very clean.
And they know Regali's not on Arch now.
But this does open up the avenue of attack through CT spawn if needed.
They're wrapping, I think, to Library to hit A, right? They're going to clear out Pit. Are they actually going to commit B? Oh, maybe Shane goes down mid. Dude, this is going to be a little slow, but so 30 seconds. I mean, they made it halfway through CT, and Fnatic have 3 players that haven't rotated because they don't know for sure. And now they're going to take over lane, but the attack is coming fast. It comes down to the site hold.
It's going to have to be it. Banjo and Keve.
Oh my God,
only Banjo now.
Oh,
can only spray
dude.
away for the one. So sure enough, bomb planted safely tucked behind Orange, and KST's not fast enough to catch Shane. But Torzy's not looking at Banana. Torzy gets wrecked. Regali's flash just primes the peak. Shane's going to be locked into tree. No CT through their spawn.
Oh, it's an active crossfire.
It's a really good cross.
They're staying peeking.
Oh, the CTs are going to have to turn away at some point. If not, Shane's going to have their backs. He's able to get just a bit of damage in. It's Shui with the double. Regali missing a shot. And Shui with 4 kills on the round. Not to mention all 3 in the 2v3 post plant.
God damn, and that's from the IGL, the captain of the team. Shout out to Shui for showing off his individual level as well.
And a good call.
A great call. A great call. And that was, they avoided Regali nice and calmly, and they got through Arch when they knew he wasn't there. The CTs didn't get the info back, and you could see that at the point where they didn't have anybody on Arch to spot or listen, they got curdled up in the A site. And yes, they made the adjustment to go through mid as soon as they got info, but when they got info was when mouz were willing to give them that info. They were already committing onto this crunch, and look at this crossfire. Even though they get flanked on Banana, they get flanked with so much info. Another sick round from mouz NXT to bring that back.
And now it's just an anomaly of a CT round win. They're going to buy up everything they can. Shui absolutely the MVP of that last round. 84 ADR across the map. 372 damage in that last one.
Shui's going places if he can keep this up. So young, so calm on the comms, and it's clearly such a strong IGL on top of just a really good fragger. He's going to be an asset, honestly. You know, for a lot of teams, it's hard to find good IGLs. Not that he needs to go anywhere. This lineup is sick.
Yeah. That's the thing. This is a viable lineup. Got all the pieces. There's a reason that they are the reigning WePlay champs. There's a reason that they have taken down higher caliber teams than this. And Banjo, well, he tries to swing out, but Shui's already got that opener. Keve's going to be in question here. He's thinking about shooting through. And sure enough, gets exertion, but while he's blinded, Shui's in with a second. Dude, Shui just taking these last couple of rounds by storm. Shane finding the head of Pepsor towards middle. 4v2 for mouz NXT as they're on the cusp of securing 15.
They have no way. They can't even pretend like they're coming on Banana because of that kill from Shane. So they're just going to peel back now. Unwinnable situation. And the way they just whittle down the numbers is so hard to deal with your Fnatic Rising. You're just playing sandbags as per usual. One nade hits you, and Banjo suddenly has no odds to win his 50-50 engagement. He has so little health. And they just swing on him, and they jump through the smoke 2 at a time and get that trade. You know, Keve realizes where they'll try to split from and lines it up, but he can't hit the flick while he's blind. That's too much to ask for. And yeah, it's just, they're just really good. They're just really damn good. That's a well-earned 15th.
2 back-to-back impactful rounds for Shui. Now top of the scoreboard for mouz NXT. Worth his weight in gold. Because I saw a glimmer, I saw a glimpse, I saw a flash in the pan for the CT defense of Fnatic Rising. But that pan burned too hot, now it's burnt.
We need more Polish players too, you know, to come up. It's always been such a strong
it's been a little while,
region.
Huh?
It's such a strong region in Counter-Strike in terms of just pure individual talents, but not too many have risen since Virtus Pro. Let's listen into mouz NXT's TeamSpeak and what could be the winning round.
I'll nade it.
Yeah, I have money.
Yeah, I'll nade it. After that, I will molly D-Babs even.
I'm on nade it.
Just on the safe
He's
side.
peeking me, dead.
It's over.
Push to B, to B. It's they shot left side wood. One on top of wood, Adam. Wait.
Just pop flashing middle maybe?
I think they started checking out. Yeah.
Nothing mid?
Listen guys, smoke small pit and go B everyone.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Do it fast.
I will do it.
Okay,
And then just rush B. Car?
He's car.
He's spotted out. Rush B. You will
I'm
smoke
smoking
CT.
CT.
If he smokes, you pop flash through it. Outside.
Go,
Wait it out.
flash.
Wait it out.
Flashing
Flashing
first.
top right.
Flashing again.
One CT.
Maybe new box. New box, new box. And CT. Gone ruins.
I molly him.
Yeah, dude. Holding left side.
Ruins,
Dead.
ruins,
Ruins.
ruins.
Can you pick ruins?
Yeah, let's
Just,
go.
He's behind it. Nice.
1v2 is your round.
Maybe close already from Banana. Nice shot.
Nice try.
Try. Both banana, right?
Explosive communication. They saw an opening. They tried to clamp down on it, but ultimately it's those first 2 kills from fnatic rising through the smokes as they got aggressive down Banana. So
Yeah, he's getting a little excited there with the amount of info that he's giving, just ideas that he should, whoever's left alive could already have. But you can see he's, and I'm talking about Shui, of course, who's IGLing, but as he's coming for what they should do, I think that is something actually that's cool that some IGLs do. That we've heard, Alexi do or Glaive do in the past. That's a powerful tool to have to be able to mid-round, when you're dead. If a team needs it, of course. But then when you get down to the micromanaging calls, you've got to be careful about, it's like, he should already be thinking about that, or that doesn't actually add anything to his round right there, as was said in the comms. So here's a round where fnatic Rising survive and do a good job of holding off the attack. But obviously the mood isn't amazing. Can't ask for everyone to be laughing all the time.
No, understandably.
Not a game they're really close to winning, except for, I get numerically it's not bad to have 9 rounds, but mentally I feel like they're far from the finish line.
Yeah,
much farther than that.
Only 3 on their CT side so far. And not to mention, a long time since we saw them add that pack of rounds. Remember, fnatic Rising came into Inferno on the T side looking super good. 6-1, I believe, at one point. It's been a long time since then. But there's a rumbling off of the back of that last one. We get another face on Banana coming out of fnatic Rising, but it's also... Oh, Torzy actually killing Banjo.
Dude.
I thought it was smoked off, but now that I look at the map, it looks like the smoke's maybe a little bit too deep towards wood.
Hey, kill him on the jump spot, huh? He's still behind the half wall. Oh, Kevy's going to make a play. But is he going to phase it? Or, oh my god, he's really close.
3 Ts. I mean, this is all in. This is all, he goes huge or he goes down with nothing.
Oh my god.
I don't think they're suspecting this at all. Oh, he comes out.
Oh, that's so awkward.
Oh, that's a heartbreaking situation. KST, it's your chance.
Jesus.
But JDC's got the headshot and mouz NXT, what feels like an unlosable round.
I think he's really hoping that they're not there, or at the bottom of B, or very far away. And he gets the info right away, gets a kill, maybe can jump around, but in that spot.
For a second,
oh man.
For a second, it looked like they were going to line up. Maybe he was just going to come out and spam through their guts, but they came out and they were offset, just in 2 separate positions, different angles, and different outcomes than what fnatic Rising would have hoped for. They will lose their map pick of Inferno, and now we're going to have this series move to Nuke. And unfortunately for fnatic Rising, this is a team that versus previous opponents, we've seen that the map pool itself, changing off of their picks in their comfort zone, has shown us a much weaker performance. Seeing that they already didn't even get to the double digits, mouz NXT may be in for a quick one. We'll see. And we'll see as well what our analysts make of the first match here on Inferno.
Oh, that Inferno. The pick may have been Fnatic's, but it certainly didn't look like it. But maybe if you tuned into the first part of that half, though, right? Because Scordy mentioned it during the cast. 6-1 lead, looking real good for Fnatic. Then you end the half 9-6. Normally, we look at it the other way for mousesports, that they get close to closing out a game, they slow right down. Well, this time, they allowed Fnatic a bit of wiggle room to run their way in, and then they got slapped about.
I think it actually speaks into what I kind of highlighted coming into this matchup, the fact that Kevin prepared well. He had a good game plan coming into the game. He knew how he wanted to execute. I remember the very first force buy coming in from fnatic Rising. It was a super well-executed hit in towards the A bomb side, where all the players on the bomb side were completely blind, and they could do absolutely nothing to stop that train coming in. Of course, you play that once, right, and then they know what to do next time. They adapt, and then Kevin didn't have anything else coming up for them. So yes, they got off to a 6-1 start, but as soon as mousesports figured out, okay, this is what fnatic Rising got, this is how they want to play, then they adapted, and then they ended up winning the half and winning the game relatively easy. So yes, Kevin, we saw preparation and, you know, setting a game plan and knowing what to do the first couple of buy rounds, etc., only gets you that far. And at that point, it was all about the individuals once again. Torsi stepping up, the rest of the players stepping up, JDC having a good game. Individually, Fnatic Rising couldn't cope with mouz NXT, and at that point, it didn't matter what Kevin would say or do because it was already lost at that point.
Yeah, and speaking of players, I mean, I want to give another shout out to Exertion. I was talking about how he was going to be controlling Banana. There were 3 separate rounds where he got a double entry on the CT side of Banana, just holding it down. I mean, like, what are you going to do when he's able to find those kinds of kills? Not a lot. That's actually what happened. Fnatic Rising in this game, yeah, like Pim said, you know, they had a good start to their T side, but their CT side was pretty concerning. They lost out in a lot of different defaults. So I guess I would give credit, though, to mouz, because mouz they're coming in as the favorites. They're coming in as the team with the best players, the best overall team on top of that, and they are able to win a lot of rounds simply because they just default and they are able to outplay their opponents. It happens very frequently when they play a lot of, I would say, kind of the lower kind of tier teams at this event, but for it to happen against Fnatic Rising, this is becoming a very scary mouz.
Yeah, this is it, right? Something that's very difficult for them to deal with. You get a few rounds from Fnatic where you see some glimmers of hope. Regali had that round with the Deagle that nearly turned into an ace as well, and you go, okay, could this be the turning point? But it just always felt that even when mouz could be pushed, it wasn't enough to really put them down, you know. Their bounce back was too strong.
That's the thing, right? It was a fantastic round by Regali, some crisp Deagle headshots and almost a little bit, you know, sad that he couldn't finish off the clutch and maybe put the scoreline a little bit closer, but that's what it took for Fnatic Rising to even get close to make this game competitive. It would take Regali to play the best game of his life. It would take Regali to almost make an ace to almost win a round, right? He ended up losing it regardless. So at that point, I think the skill difference is so big right now that for mousesports, it's really only themselves who can lose these games, right? It's a bit of a cliche to say, but the biggest enemy right now in this league, I feel, is mousesports themselves, right? If they were to lose this season 2, if they were to not win the entire thing, it comes down to mousesports not putting in the work, not preparing well enough, or maybe getting a little bit too cocky. I think when they play well, or even when they play at 80 or 85 or maybe 90% of their real strength, mousesports is still so much better than everyone else is right now. So it really takes a lot for anyone to beat them.
I think looking at the scoreboard, it tells a great picture. I mean, nobody on mouz NXT even went negative. Like, they all did well in their positions. I mean, we don't talk even that much about Shane, but even at the bottom of the scoreboard, they're 18 and 13. When that's your bottom fragger, I mean, what are you even going to do? I guess JDC has less, but in terms of ADR, it's not too high for Shane. Like, everybody from mouz is just, they're just very comfortable on this map. They're very comfortable in the server. You can see that the way they play is always going to net them just wins that are going to be very, very hard to breach. Like, Fnatic had to run very specific plays that almost felt anti-stratty in the way that they knew the setup for mouz, and then mouz just simply adapts. After those first handful of rounds, they say, okay, we're going to get in your face, we're going to take the fight to you a few times, and once they begin to do that, once mouz just begins to try to upset the game plan of Keve doesn't really have that second gear beyond the first game plan.
Now, I do want to say, right, that whoever is the owner of mousesports, maybe you want to look at JDC and just give him a massive pay rise at this point, because not only did he build the team alongside Cyclone, but you have improved this team to a point where they can probably be very deadly in all of these qualifiers, right? These online leagues that are going on at the same time for potential of what mousesports could show. You've definitely got players here that have a chance of getting to that main roster, because there's a few weak links in that main roster right now that could maybe do with replacing. And then you've got to say that overall, this team is probably the most likely to win the season again, unless something drastically wrong happens at the LAN finals where they didn't choke last time around. Like, it's crazy to me to see so many positives for such a young team, and okay, they may still make some mechanical mistakes. You see a few things go wrong for them. But just like listen to their comms that we hear on the rounds there, it's still looking really solid.
It's super clean. The only team that could beat this mouz NXT is if you took Navi Jr.'s skill and Young Ninja's teamwork, combined them, found the perfect blend, and then you have a chance to probably take a map off of mouz.
You're making an anime fusion here. Yeah?
Exactly. They're just gonna fuse. They're gonna fuse forces, and that's the only way I can really see it happening. mouz NXT right now, they're the most dominant team at this event. They're the strongest player. They have the strongest players. Shuhei is looking like he's like a developing IGL. In season 1, sometimes I could see his calls going the wrong way. This time around, they have fallback plans, contingency plans. That's what makes this team even more deadly.
They're one of the teams that put in the most hours into the game as well. They're all full-time playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
They use the facilities of mousesports to bootcamp coming into the LAN finals. They even try to bootcamp once in a while when it's possible. So it's deserved, right? I really do like to preach hard work and putting in an effort, and it shows on the server. Right now, mousesports is on a different level, and unfortunately, I guess the reason why we find ourselves talking so much about mouz right now and not really focusing in on Nuke is that, in all fairness, there's not that much to talk about when it comes to Nuke. This is a giant uphill battle for Fnatic Rising. They're coming into mousesports map pick. They may be one of the best Nuke teams right now in Academy League out there, right? Without a doubt, the best Nuke team in this tournament. And even when mousesports play Nuke against some of the high-tier opposition out there, tier 2 teams, tier 3 teams who are full-time paid Counter-Strike players, they can win. I think it was against Flushshare, Gorilla, Sonny, and those boys, you know, major winning players. 16-0'd them on a map like Nuke. Best of luck with that, Fnatic Rising.
Also beat our loudmouth Russian friend in Hooch and his team, didn't they? They took him down on Nuke as well, so, you know.
Easy game, man.
Easy one.
Doesn't take that much, to be fair.
Only qualified for a major, you know. Yeah. But no, all jokes aside, I will say that when it comes to this Nuke thing, I agree with you, Pim. I wasn't moving on to it in a sense because it's like Fnatic don't play it, right? Yeah. It's not a map that they want to play into. And also, it doesn't matter how well Fnatic can prep on this. You just heard it. You just see it in the play that mousesports have. It's quite default heavy, and they make the adjustments as they need to go along, right? It's not going to be super tactical where you go, okay, they're doing this, they're definitely doing this, right? Yeah. They play a little bit more on the fly. They play looser. They're not a team where you can go, okay, this is happening, we can do this. Kevy's not having that field day. He's not being given that room. So for the Fnatic, they maybe need to change up their own style when they just maybe try and take some of the fight to them. But even then, does that give them a chance?
It's very difficult to play Counter-Strike and beat a team that can default this well. When your level is just not there, if you can't match them in the default, like then you have to start throwing out gimmicks or little like set piece plays. And once mouz understand that that's the kind of strategy you want to, the style you want to implement to try to beat them, you saw the adjustment in the first half there. If you want to throw execs at us, we're just going to get a little bit more aggressive, or we're just going to save our utility till we see the exec coming. Like there's so many counters, and with how Shuhei has conducted that CT side and how they had that bounce back despite being 6-1 down, like I have no doubt that no matter what Keve throws at them in the beginning, unless he has 3 drastically different styles in one game plan, it's going to be figured out. I think Shuhei has shown that he knows how to adapt in the middle of a half.
And it's a huge amount of confidence, which you should expect from mousesports anyway. The fact that they picked into Nuke and Fnatic would be very well prepared for this, right? This is damn right saying we are the best.
Without a doubt. I mean, it was a no-brainer. It's the closest we get to a punish pick at this point in this league. It's not that the map pool of Fnatic Rising isn't okay. You know, whenever they go up against Big Omen Academy or Navi Junior, their map pool is just fine. It's just they meet the final boss right now. They meet mousesports who have the better players, the better individuals, the better AWP player on the server. Probably, most likely, one of the best in-game leaders in the entire tournament as well. We got to give him credit, you know, for what he's done with mousesports so far. Going up against the best support player, the supportive element, I guess, in JDC. There's just so many compliments you can give towards mousesports that if you're Fnatic Rising, right, you're just standing in front of a mountain, and there's only so much you can do without, you know, getting a little bit of a boost up there in terms of help. So if I'm Fnatic Rising right now, I'm going into this one with no expectations whatsoever. And if they somehow, some way can make this a madness game, make it ugly, maybe be a little bit aggressive in the beginning, change up the style they normally would play, and just try to rattle out mousesports a little bit and make them feel that maybe we were a little bit too cocky coming into Nuke, then maybe there's a chance that we get a competitive game. But in all fairness, I'd be disappointed if mousesports is not winning this one, at least winning this one.
Well, we've all had these games, right, where we certainly feel like we're running into a mountain and not having so much success. You can get a team that dominates you, but what advice would you give to these guys when it comes to that? Because for me, there's no option here for Fnatic right now. If they pull this off, this would be the biggest upset of the league.
It would be. This is going to be one of those moments where if you're Fnatic Rising, you're probably just coming into this thing. This is going to be a learning experience for us. Right now, we saw the stats. Fnatic Rising have less than a 50% win rate on the CT side of Nuke in the maps that they played. So if they can even get 8, I think they should just be happy. It doesn't matter even how the game ends. If they can get 8 rounds on CT side, that could be an objective for this game. You know, if you can even just scrap together a few messy ones, like Pimp was saying, then that's a win for you, even if you don't take the whole map.
Well, we best get ourselves into that map and see how this all goes down. We said it was going to be 2-0. You said it's going to be 2-1. So you best hope that Fnatic somehow pick up this map, Pim. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see what happens across all of it, though. Let's get back with our amazing commentators. Scrawny and Launders, you'll be taking all the action once again. But is there any hope for Fnatic, boys?
Nope. No. Yeah, I mean, listen, okay, guys? Listen. What would we say to Fnatic?
He said that, not me.
What would we say to Fnatic Rising in a situation like this? What I would say to them is, you only truly lose when you stop believing in yourself.
So as long as they come into this server with even a grain of belief, the smallest of hopes, Fnatic Rising have a chance. Is it a big one? No.
What would Ninja say? Once you give up, that's when you lost twice, Fnatic Rising. So if you lose, go out in a blaze of glory, at least.
Hoorah! You can't give up, okay? You can't give up. That's weak mental game. And here at the WePlay Academy League,
What I look forward to.
we don't award weak mental
No
games.
weakness. What I look forward to is the first 6 rounds of Fnatic Rising games where Keve's game plan is in full force. No one knows what to do.
This looks unbelievable. And then
They look like they're going to 6-0 every single map.
yeah.
And then sometimes the other team just rises above.
Nah, man, James said it. Like, this would have to be the upset of the league.
Their souffle pops.
This-
Fnatic Rising.
Don't get too loud. Don't get too rowdy. That's our job. That's our job. And what's your job? To sit back and enjoy, folks. We're bringing you the action here on Nuke. Will it be a long one? Maybe not. Will it be a high-quality one? Maybe. Maybe. You never know what you're going to get. Counter-Strike's like a box of utility. Regali off of the AC. Banjo down beneath. Okay. There's a little bit of a fight here for JDC. He's outnumbered. Look at this. CT side off to a flying start. Keve's plan's going well. Or is it? Exertion down on the B site. Starts to plant that bomb. Shane tries to keep them at bay within lobby, but that's not going to happen. So a 2v5 post plant. But here's the thing. Every single player is coming in from ramp room. That's a weird situation to be in. But now it's 1v5. So it's all
Good
over,
luck.
baby. It's done. Wrap it up. It's Fnatic Rising with a CT pistol win.
Yeah. I love that Pepsor is always buying the dualies because the dualies are really damn strong. But he does play 2 spots where like the dualies are most bought. Top Hut and on Balk on Inferno. So I don't know if the dualies found him or if he found the dualies, but he's definitely doing it right. He's doing it right for sure. Nice shots all around. And yeah, I mean, dude, I think Fnatic Rising have won every single pistol this tournament. I think they have.
Until somebody proves you wrong.
These guys win every pistol, and they almost win every single first of the 6 rounds.
Well, that means they've got 5 more to take before mouz get on the board. We'll see if it rains true. Because of that bomb plant, double AK Galil. Shui, a man of a man of honor with no armor. He is the one who has nothing to really offer us other than that deagle. Can it be?
They're going to do the 1 smoke cross. Always a scary tactic. Just the whole on both sides swing.
You need 2.
Oh, oh, actually, Pepsor, he's going to be turning his attention inward. And they are starting to crawl out on the outside of it, coming in close, but they started pushing back a bit and start to spread without taking damage. And wow, Exertion also gets a kill. Have they let the leash a little bit too loose? Oh, maybe they have, man. Exertion, another kill here. Oh my god, dude. Somebody stop this man. 3 frags, an absolute truck coming around from outside to the back of hell into ramp. When will the racetrack end?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus.
The whole thing crumbles.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, on the plus side, you can still say it. Fnatic Rising don't lose pistols.
They don't lose pistols, man. These guys are insane at pistols.
But they lose the round right after. Exertion, what is that?
We were watching it from the best POV. You know, Pepsor was the guy who could have stopped it there, like saw some stuff, but he went back to Molly inside, came outside, and by that time, it was already almost over. Oh,
yikes.
Man. This might be depressing. Let's listening to the Fnatic Rising team speak.
And then you can come outside with this. Okay. Actually, you can stay. Yeah.
We're staying in front
yeah,
of
but I'm not gonna do anything on Kevin.
In main?
In front of.
Yeah, they did it. Yeah. Tell me when to flash. I'm leaving, I guess.
I'm watching door.
Yeah.
I'll be red.
Flashing.
He's secret. Down secret solo. Only one guy.
Yeah. They will take full yard control now. One's on top silo. One's on top of silo, guys. Close main.
1 T-red.
Africa. Silo.
T-red and Africa and silo and secret.
They smoked hell.
Secret dead. One close main. One door.
Close
Action
right.
is down B.
Hot door.
He's coming from ramp.
That's right, yeah.
Well, it was a quiet death, but it also wasn't a round where, after losing the last one, that they expected to win. So, mouz NXT, just, man, such a nicely played, 3-gun buy into a perfect anti-eco setup here, covering all of their options, keeping distance, baiting people to push through the cross smokes into winning 2 rounds in a row.
Making it look easy. So, Fnatic Rising CT side falls with not a bang, but rather a whimper. And this should be even more quiet, because all they've got's silent USPs. 4 CT stacking up in garage. Hey, those are some dinks. All right, they've got Exertion wounded. Shui and JDC take to the top of the box, and those rifles prevail.
They were like a festival game there. They were like the rabbits that you shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From outside.
At the carnival.
But if the rabbits had guns.
Oh my god. Low HP for 2, so there could have been more damage here dealt versus mouz NXT.
That was like Squid Game.
Squid Game. I haven't seen any of it yet.
But most people haven't seen it, but they still understand, like, they've seen like so many, pictures and stuff that they can kind of get an idea for it. But basically Squid Game, if you don't play by the rules, you don't follow the rules, you die. So
that's why I always follow the rules.
That's why I always be crossing on green lights. But does that mean you can still speed up on yellows?
If it is within a safe distance of the light. If you would create more of a danger by slowing down in that moment, then 100% accelerating is okay. It's not a one-size-fits-all type situation, Launders.
That's true. Just kidding, of course. Literally stop your car already all the way. Literally stop. Regali opening frag, that's always nice to see on the kill feed. And if you're anywhere on the map.
That was over by Red Box. Exertion ready for the mini fight, but Pepsor's got his name. Okay, we've got a little life in Fnatic Rising.
Oh, who fakes the drop?
That's cool, that's cool. JDC's gonna peek beneath it, and that's a headshot for him. 3v5 attempt for mouz NXT. They walk a player out onto the A site, but KST had just come untucked from his corner.
The round of a million lurks.
The round of a million lurks. Sounds much better like that.
I wish I sounded like that.
Shui's the last man standing here in a unwanted 1v4. These 2 CTs, they're continuing to peek him from a multitude of angles, and sure enough, Fnatic Rising will get a second. So, nice, okay? Yes, you fall victim to the round 2 force buy. Yes, mouz NXT team used that for a 3-1 lead. But then you are right back to winning ways. It's not too little, and it's not too late.
Yeah, it is still very early. So they win this kind of slow crawl around the outside, and I think that's just when that's when the chaos reaches its peak, right? That's when the chaos reaches its peak. When, as soon as you know there are T's behind hell and you're still inside holding all these different positions, that's where the T's are the most powerful and can catch the most timings. And you can see that mouz NXT put in their game plan to try to create these moments as much as possible. But Fnatic Rising at least stop them this time on the cross. This time here, Pepzor will drop a molly inside of Secret, but smoke comes down and the cross comes out early as well. Exertion disrespecting this timing might be huge. Baiting these utilities out very early.
That's worth. Get those grenades down, burn them. Burn them all.
It ain't easy getting people back.
Dude, 4 T's down in Secret.
Yeah. And it looks like, wow, they're actually crushing from the lobby, which is interesting, but...
Yeah, Shane gets cleared.
Yeah. They'll take, Banjo will take them out. And now they know that this is likely going to turn into a lower hit off of that.
Yeah, so everybody, all the CTs start to turn their sights downstairs. It'll be a tough cross.
Oh, he's a little bit slow to get inside, but
There's
it's still
no smoke.
5v4. Oh, man, he gets punched. Oof.
No smoke at all. So, but they push forward.
Wow.
And Pepsor falls victim to that little tiny gap. KST and Regali back to the kill feed though, and as I was alluding to, no smoke grenade means it had to be a dry cross.
Oh, and Regali will get another punish.
Nicely done on the op to really deny them any attempt here at the bomb plant. No post plant secured for Shui. 52 health in the 1v3 with 20 seconds left, and even if he doubles, vents open. Little does he know. I think at this point, you just got to take what you can get, so he will tuck and plant. But coming off of the back of that, he dodges the op shot, shoots off a couple of bullets, and if he focuses, now that he's heard the double doors open, he should know all three players' positions. He was shot at twice by ramp, and he heard the double doors. However, smoke grenade in his face makes this one awkward, and he tries to find damage through, but instead he is the victim of said spam. A third round from Fnatic Rising. We're all tied up 3 apiece.
Yeah. That was honestly, there was a moment there where they could have got the bomb. Shui could have got the bomb. They were both open. They didn't actually need to get that op to peek into the left side into Regali again, and they could have planted in the 2v3. I think pretty safely. I'm not actually sure why Shui, either requested a peek or needed Torzi to peek out wider than he was, but I feel like he was actually safe to get that bomb down with a teammate alive. But either way, Fnatic Rising do a good job of holding that off. But I will say they're a little bit slow on their rotations into the site. You can see, even though Banjo got his kill, they're all ready to get into the site. They didn't expect mouz NXT to come in that quickly. And Banjo, or whoever it was dying first, made it a touch scarier.
Yeah.
But hunting down that lurker was very nice as from Fnatic Rising to push with lobby as well as ramp, and to just deliberately say, okay, we know mouz have crossed outside and taken secret control.
But it's not a lost round yet. Also, I think like the sheer amount of players that they allocated to making sure that went well. 4 guys go pushing in. So even if there was a second lurker, I feel like lobby would not have been kept by the T side. Game on. You know, that early hiccup kind of made us think maybe there was already too much blood in the water. But back into the play. Pepsor going to be blinded as his teammate falls on the A site. Yes, they had Heaven. But Shui with the headshot into Banjo, spam down through Mini. Pepsor is barely alive at this point. He needs to just escape. And maybe they call this round quits already.
Yeah, that's two dead on the upper hold.
Woo!
Literally no damage, I think, on that hold.
Hot damn, that was quick.
Maybe a little afterwards, but that was pretty beast. They didn't keep an eye on Squeaky. The exec came in. They just didn't expect that tactic. It's a nice change of pace for mouz NXT. It's a completely different call.
We call that tenacity. Ran right in. No leash. Unleashed.
What would you call your academy team? If you could tack on a name to it. Let's say you had Vitality.
See, first of all, okay, that's a nice one, Vitality. The fact that every team has something different,
we did talk about,
you can't repeat it, right?
Well, there's like there's Big Academy and Fury Academy as well. So Academy is and this is called the Academy League.
Yeah, so it can't be Academy. We've got the Young, you've got NXT, which I'm assuming means next. Rising. I think the Fnatic Rising is a nice touch. Rising, yeah.
Like that. Taken, though.
Could do like Vitality Upcoming, but nah, too long.
Vitality Scrawnies. What do you think on this? I could see you thinking, actually.
Vitality Youth. There's no youth.
Oh, really?
There's young ninjas.
Okay.
But there's no youth.
True, yeah.
And Vitality would, we
literally already did this. And then I said Fountain of Vitality.
Yeah, the Youth of Vitality.
Okay.
Yeah, Vitality Youth.
There we go. There we go. All right,
make
Kevin.
It French.
Oh, he's going to walk into this. He's not ready at all for them to be down there. He was not ready at all.
Is there a junior? Vitality Junior? Just JR?
Is there a
No?
Something Junior?
I think so. I'm trying to
Navi Jr.?
Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot.
Navi Jr. Why are you gaslighting me?
I'm like, this is such a great idea,
Sounds
man.
like you tried to Wilma me. You knew there was a junior already.
Yeah. I ran through the list, and suddenly I realized the error of my ways. Just like Fnatic Rising, have made an error in allowing mouz NXT back into this tumultuous T side. Down to the B bomb site they ran. Down to the B bomb site they stampeded. And if you ever see a stampede coming your way, I suggest you move.
Yeah, run in a zigzag.
Yeah. Or I think that... No, run
through the skinny streets of Spain.
Run in a straight line. A straight line is the shortest route between point A and point B.
Yeah, but you have to be faster than the bull.
Watch me.
Okay.
What if it's a stampede of ostrich?
Ostri?
Ostri, yeah, sure.
That would also be... Those are one of those animals
horrifying.
that... Yeah. They're also bigger than you imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ostrich will whoop you to tomorrow.
Well, this is a round that comes down to there is just absolutely no idea that they could have been there at that moment in secret.
Is there a junior team? Economy bleeding for Fnatic Rising. It's a tough look for this CT side to be back down to just the pistols again. Maybe the AWP and Regali is going to come alive, right? We said this had to be one of the biggest upsets of the season. Nuke seems like such a known quantity for mouz NXT, such a step ahead of the opposition. And I get flashbacks to the way VPP bullied Fnatic Rising on Vertigo, right? I don't think that, despite my admiration for Fnatic Rising as players, I don't think their team map pool is the best of best.
What in the hell was that?
But Pepsor, ooh, with a little energy, goes into the lobby. It will be taken back by JDC. His 2 kills equalize 3v3, but the AWP's still in play, and it sits here in A.
Up on both sides. They're just maybe continuing on with the push. Oh, and that could open up the AWP as well. Torzy's coming in. Torzy's trying to...
Oh! Interesting turn of events.
1 on 3 now. Is Exertion's position known is the question.
Well, he clears the first one. He's got an AWP to deal with. Banjo's going to use that chance to go and grab a gun. 35 seconds to spare. AWP's posted, and AWP is successful.
Hey.
Regali, one of the 2 rifles to come into this round with 2 crucial kills in the 3v3. Looked like he bent that bullet into the T-spawn.
Did someone else have the AWP, or?
Nope, Regali from the get-go.
Oh, okay. I saw you two rifles.
They had an M4 and AK.
Right.
It got dropped.
Right.
The first player to peek hut.
That was nice. And then Banjo got his ramp push Deagle headshots.
Yes.
Regali has another timing. And
very nicely timed.
Wow.
Good little just like left-right hook inside of lobby.
So mouz NXT show a lot of weakness now. They have like lost a full rifle. They've also got ecoed here, just like they've done to Fnatic Rising.
Game is alive.
Sleep
Game is
on
alive.
this. Sometimes this is the trouble with playing too many people inside the lobby on rifle rounds, and why a lot of teams will just play spotting, but give up that space. And once they hear the CTs take it over, they can go and take outside, which is a little bit safer to do. But in this round, that round, they might not have treated it exactly like an anti-eco, and there was a couple of good guns there.
Interesting.
Oh.
No AWP to counter that. Regali.
Oh, he misses that. Molly completely, actually.
That's... Hello, Keve. You're about to lose your head.
Oh my god, he actually didn't come up. Oh, he's got spotted. Oh, he gets away, though.
Oh, but not all the way back. Oh, Keve does die over towards the secret stairs. It's Pepsor stuck between Mini and the Squeaky. Woo! KST with a double kill.
Let's go.
And all of a sudden, we've got Fnatic Rising back to a tied game by the looks of it.
Damn, they overinvested to try to kill... they got Keve just straight up getting into secret.
By the looks of it, but looks can sometimes be deceiving. And Exertion just walked up vent with nobody keeping an eye on this.
He's not actually clearing this corner.
Oh, that would have been his chance.
That's crazy. He was right there.
Now I feel like his timing becomes a little bit more predictable because now they would have had a chance to think about the potential vent play. He had the element of surprise. He gave it back over. He's going to clear the A site instead. They do have bomb in possession, but KST follows through from the Squeaky doorway and gets his frag. They don't know about Shui, but he drops with a nade in hand, and that's the end of him. That's the end of the 10th round, and that's the end of mouz's lead. Cut to the 5-5 score.
Yeah, nice for Fnatic Rising. That was I actually respect them kind of chasing that frag into Mini, but they had the opportunity to kind of one bullet him, and then they had to run through a Molotov to get the kill. Didn't get the kill, and look at KST realizing just keeping a good inventory of where the next fight might be from, and where his last information was as well. right down into Squeaky, denying that trade. Beautiful stuff from KST from the top of the hut.
Okay. Okay. Regali, nice. Op shot, and then KST's AK both singing off. Singing away. A merry jingle. I'm still thinking of potential academy names. Vitality Youth is the best thing I've got yet.
That was good.
But my gut tells me there's something better I haven't thought of yet. I'll keep thinking.
Vision Strikers came to CS. Get the Vision Striker Chobos.
I wouldn't want to be Torzi. 1v5, half health. Bomb gets stopped as they just tried to burst down to the B site, so... Ooh, Kobe!
That's a well-earned lead here for Fnatic.
Yes.
Good. Some great rounds. Some great rounds so far on this comeback.
Doubling their round count with the last 3 round wins. T-side, about to buy. What's on the cards, they'll take a timeout to figure out.
Yeah, we're getting some good tactics, proactivity, and hitting great shots. And even winning some scary situations, which I think is a big plus. Some of those lower rounds. We've had Fnatic Rise and do a good job of taking Secret, getting out back of, the back of hell. But that was a couple of rounds ago. And they had the huge exertion round as well as one of the first rifles, which was catalyzed that, I think, initial burst of rounds after the eco. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You know what I'm saying? That frag grenade could have chunked them. But they get away unscathed. They're going to go silently crossing towards red. No wall of smokes. They just make a ton of sound and test the timing. Sure enough, 3 players down and it cost them no utility. A hop, a skip, a jump, a dodge, and an opening kill. I can't believe that worked.
He just said, I know you're going to miss this. He actually counted on him just whiffing. That was brutal. And also...
And counted on nobody watching outer.
They had the trade prepared as well, yeah.
That's a bit of a gambly round, man. No smokes for the cross, just hoping no one watches it. And just calling the bluff of the Opper downstairs as if he's going to miss. Then Shane comes in, kills Pepsor. 5v3. Look at the HP for the 2 players who have taken these duels.
Well, if you throw the smokes, you know what happens. Everyone watches.
Like a moth to the flame. Eyes drawn towards smoke. Shadowy figures move within. Keve wants to stand the test. Banjo's able to get the 1. Banjo with a double. He could go big right here. He's got a little bit of cover, and he's got a separated duel.
The health isn't great for
No, sir. No, sir. That Molotov's going to get it in the bag. Yeah, forces him to jump. Banjo in with the 3K, but Torzi, ooh, able to get not the second. Fnatic, wow. Thanks to Banjo, they claw back that round.
That kid is good, man. Banjo is good. He's not just a sub.
I can't believe it.
He's not just the CT model picture you see under screen. He's much more. He's instrumental.
Ah.
Yeah.
Like a banjo.
Like a banjo.
Yuck. This was just disrespectful, dude.
That was sick. You're going to miss twice.
And he legged him. That was a collateral leg shot now that I see it. A collateral.
My. Hey, and that damage matters, I guess, because there's like a couple players low at the end.
A collateral. Round count starting to rack up for Fnatic Rising. They are at no point supposed to win this second map of Nuke. Our expectations were set quite low. Fnatic Rising on the comeback. Banjo only able to get the one this time. His A1S has been offered over.
Yeah.
But he did so much last round and left mouz NXT with so little in this one that his teammates have to finish this. They have to close this. They owe it to Banjo.
Oh, he's getting pushed from both sides. Man, that was honestly, Banjo fought a little bit too hard there on the ramp. He shouldn't probably fight like that, despite being able to get some ecos. And now the rifle have changed hands as well as the op, and the tag comes in. I think some damage there.
Frag grenade's hefty.
He doesn't have to move those. No molly.
Corsi to 21.
Yeah,
he's got a player ahead of him.
Oh, they got the op on the right guy too.
This is the big one.
Oh,
if
yeah,
Pepsor loses his duel,
oh man,
dude, the headshot off of the Deagle. The op stays scoped, but it's Shane to trade, and now it falls to Keve. He's trying to close the distance versus Shane, but mouz NXT with a robbery of a round. They work that push down ramp. They did the same thing that they did on Secret last round, but they changed course and used ramp instead. And this time they get it over the line. 6th round added to the board off of just the back of pistols.
Yeah, Banjo's great, but he shouldn't have fought that hard on the ramp in that position. First of all, look at the headshot angle here as they're clearing him, and they're literally swarming from all sides. He can get at max 1. And yeah, give yourself a doorway to get out and get into the site and let for rotations to come in. But you don't just give up your life, you give up your life and a gun. Some false pressure upstairs to try to draw out utility, and JDC somehow manages to find Pepsor.
Ye ol' Pepsor. It's not Banjo, but Regali instead this time. JDC kills Banjo over towards hell.
Can just be taken now.
It's been quite some time since we've seen a little bit of upper hit, so no surprise that the conditioning could pay off here.
Ooh.
mouz looking to tie up this half, potentially walk away with a lead.
Oh man,
Keve nervous about many.
Close to seeing that gun, yeah.
But the timing doesn't work out to him. KST also shut down out of the round. Exertion turns his attention back towards ramp. Regali needs to be found out if they want to deny the op, but what they won't deny Fnatic, or what Fnatic won't deny, is this 7th for mouz NXT. Nice change of pace these last few rounds. It's been very electric, very quick paced, and now it's even like with an element of misdirection. mouz NXT showing that they've got a game plan from start to finish here on Nuke.
Yeah, that was sweet. The attack was great all the way through. A little pressure on Squeaky. I don't know how JDC got his first kill, so that's something, but him killing Pepsor is just enormous as one of the upper anchors, so makes perfect sense. They just go for that pragmatic approach onto the A site, and Regali, they're going to try to make his life miserable. In this moment, somehow a point-blank no-scope misses, even though literally his gun is sticking out of the doorway. That's unlucky for him. Unlucky go next. 8 rounds is the goal for both of these teams, and it's kind of within reach, but Fnatic, they'll have to pull off some kind of other mix-buy win again.
Which they've done, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But I still have my doubts. JDC MVP of round number 14, 260 damage, 3 kills, and 77 ADR over the course of the last 14. Quite an exquisite showing from the JDC.
mouz are very good about not dying. It's like when they get the right amount of map control and then just exploding at the perfect time.
Triple smokes. I could throw Fnatic Rising awry. Bit of confusion with all that utility
trying to bait
usage.
the push, yeah.
Oh, it works out wonderfully. 3 immediate kills. So despite Fnatic Rising being able to win a round like this previously, this time, no chance, no shot. No, sir. Banjo, just remind him who's boss. Hit him with the Juan Deeg, baby. He's been found out. Trying to rack up the damage. Squeaky Pete comes in, and JDC's got the kill before it ever needs it. An 8th for mouz NXT. So just as we thought Fnatic Rising was coming into this, right? Just as we were praising that CT side, that 4 rounds in a row without any bomb plant, suddenly, flick of the switch, 3 straight for mouz, and they've got themselves the edge as they switch to the defensive half of their own map pick.
Dude, Exertion positionally such a powerful rifler. I just got nothing but great things to say about him. I feel like he's always making a move that pushes the round forward for the whole squad, like with his positions, with the kills that he gets. Very, very smart in a lot of different spots, and, you know, selfless in an entry as well. And you can see him as the focal point in a lot of these rounds where he's just coming in, taking a duel, and he put up a 17 kill half at the end of the day. So this was a really, really nice comeback from Fnatic Rising, and it's good to see that they can come back as opposed to just set the tempo. And I want to give them credit again. Didn't really expect anything but a blowout, especially after the second round. But they survived that storyline and got a lot more out of it. A couple of mistakes here or there, and yeah, a couple of times they just got punished. That's hard to account for, but still, 7 rounds is decent. Very good, actually.
Do you think it'll be enough?
I mean, I don't think they're going to win the map. So that hasn't really changed with this half. But yeah, I guess it's exceeding expectations is great. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's great.
What a great silver lining.
Maybe if they haven't exceeded their own.
You see this chair?
This is just a nice big camera angle with a lot of information in it.
I feel like that's the kind of chair you buy, and then you sit in it once.
Yes.
And then you just never
sit in it again. Yeah.
No.
And then it's just taking up space.
Fnatic Rising, we're going to jump into their team speak, see if they can figure out this T side and claw back the game on Nuke.
Just wait a bit, don't molly instead. Okay. Fake that now. Yeah, you should molly.
He's down there.
I can.
He's still picking his blinked.
He's picking me mine.
He went down.
Yeah, we should say let's go in.
Push lobby.
Yeah, in lobby.
Ramp. Ready.
Let's try.
Let's just do Nico.
Yep.
Well,
it has happened.
This is breaking news. That was unofficially, without any proof at all on my end, the very first round that Fnatic Rising have ever lost on a pistol in history. I've never seen it before. I would really love for Pimp to be able to prove me wrong here, get the stats, find out if they've ever lost a pistol before this. But for my money, from what I remember, I got a damn decent memory.
Like an elephant.
Like an elephant, basically, they've called me. Fnatic Rising have never lost a pistol in front of my eyes. And that was the first time, pretty sure. Amazing.
Tough one to swallow.
And tragic.
Didn't sound like a very fired up team. Nice try. Just eco.
Empty.
It's like, oh, come on, where's that fire? Where's that tenacity? Where's that pizzazz, baby? It's probably all on the mouz NXT side of things, to be honest. And once or if they secure 15, we'll jump into the TS to see how much this means to them. But they are just a few rounds away from getting themselves back to the LAN finals for an attempt at the back-to-back season champions.
Mm-hmm. 2 times.
It's got a good ring to it.
Yes. Yeah, and they'll be creating history to be able to win the first 2, Academy League seasons, because this is the Academy. This is the WePlay Academy League. This is the only place where there is an Academy League, and these are the official teams of these organizations that we all know and love, and their academies and their feeder rosters. There's only one of these,
and it's right here, right now, so, between us and you.
This is something we'll talk about, for years when these players rise above the Academy League or continue to own in the Academy League. This is where the storylines begin.
We are quite literally on chapter 1 of this history book.
That's why all 90,000 of you are in chat right now watching.
Well, chapter 2. Yeah. Chapter 1's last season.
Chapter 2, yeah.
But books normally have more than 2 chapters, so you're definitely here at the start. All right, you're onto something. Call yourself an early adopter. Get in before the craze.
Yeah. Ooh. Pump Academy coin.
Pep Store's able to cross. This makes things a little bit interesting for Fnatic, but I do feel as though it's been figured out, or at least felt out. They are catching wind of what's going on here. Banjo's going to peek beyond the blue box. There's a player just behind Mini and Regali. Oh, I feel like Torzi could have been caught by a duel there, but instead he goes all the way back. All the way. You the kind of got to break these windows before you have to shoot?
It depends, because if you break them and you leave, then people can jump through.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't break them and then you shoot somebody in the face, they don't always die.
You do 2 damage.
Oh, Torzy will find his first fight outer. That's Banjo down for the count. 40 seconds left. And mouz NXT look relatively comfortable. The only threat really is outside, and well, that threat's getting ever closer. Pepsor will dive through the window.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, he just jumps in, hits the headshot versus
Sure,
JDC.
man.
That's a bit of a lickety-split entry frag. But they're still trying to attack this A site from the opposite end, so Exertion is in a prime position to maybe stop this. He's got 2 players locked into the corner. Wild MP9 spray gets there in the end. KST clears the other, and it's just this vent player in Shui.
There's one coming heaven.
He's got to fly out,
Oh, okay.
and Pepsor locks him in. 3 kills from Pepsor, 100% making the difference. The fact that he gets that second kill jumping through window is wild.
No amount of DM will prepare you for that shot.
Wild. Like Tarzan.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that's it was lucky. It was lucky. It was insane, but it was also a little lucky, and that was also critical too because like look at that position. Like how can you ever expect someone to double up in hell in that moment of the round? That was such a nice refresh from mouz NXT to cover, be able to cover both those choke points. They knew the attack was coming. Like that was JDC to win that 99 times out of 100. But you can't account for Pepsor sometimes. This guy's a beast entry.
Oh, Banjo's already got one. Where did Torzy die? Outside by the looks of it.
Alone.
Well, that's morbid.
Among Us.
Spelled M-O-N-A. Regali's got one. Yeah, they're catching these CTs kind of. Caught him looking through the bushes.
Yes.
CTs felt like they could maybe make a play out or maybe follow those men down the secret ramp, but a double back from fnatic.
Name 3 things that grow from bushes.
Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries.
Okay.
Sorry. I really wanted to emphasize how much I know.
Just yelling.
Yeah. I felt like there was pressure all of a sudden. That pressure got me loud and excited. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. Would you be okay if I commentated in this voice all the time?
No.
Banjo, baby. Yee, the Pepsor.
Pepsorator. Pepe. K-A-S-T.
K-S-S-T.
Who's this?
Who's this guy?
I'm just kidding. Regale.
Who's this guy?
Torze. Exertion.
Oh, that's the one we missed? Holy moly. Crappy-oly. mouz NXT, they still have a little bit of a lead, but it's a little bit. Just the 1-round edge over top of fnatic Rising, who will not have an op to potentially counter Torzy. I'm curious to see if that changes the way that Outer has been falling. But that's assuming fnatic Rising even emphasized this half of the map. There's plenty of plays to make. Plenty of ways to go. And plenty of kills to take, it seems. KST, through smoke, drops the op before it even has a chance to shoot. Hot damn.
I just want to make sure no lurk takes place, because Torzy would be the guy to cover outside. And Vent was smoked in that moment. So one of the best ways to cover it is just be in there. Straight up. And now here comes an aggressive push in towards the lobby. As the T start to peel back, this might be a nice timing for the CT side. Or will it? Oh, no, it's 3v5 now. And they are out of there. However, it's going to be understood that they've evacuated the lobby and knock-on ramp.
Dropping a player down through the vents. There's still this lobby lurk from fnatic Rising.
I think this would be a good round to just hit upstairs, but through Mini. JDC is going to spot them crossing for sure. 45 seconds, and they could make this emergency rotation back. Shane might have an opening. Oh, and he'll get caught on the cross. Oh. Actually, a beautiful...
Oh, Exertion, good damage too.
Oh, man, the setup is very nice here.
Regali so low.
Oh, my God.
Spams through. Now there's a man inside of the vents, though.
Oh, and JDC's already lower.
Oh, Exertion calls it out. The crossover, however, from Banjo with 8 health left. Oh my goodness.
Damn, dude.
8 health is what makes the difference, because if not, bombs dropped in vent,
yep.
And then it's just KST to try and attack from upper. Instead, it's JDC to the clutch. He's got the kit. No utility. And don't forget how close these terrorists are to their death. This is a very winnable round for JDC. This is his to take. Already being pinned in by Banjo, and KST ends it with a crisp little headshot. Nice move from Banjo to get through that vent with Bomb upstairs and tie up our game at 10 apiece. We're in the back third. The back third of the match.
That was a serious 3v5. That was a really, really sick try. They played so smartly off the information, and they didn't just go in lower and like sit inside the site, right? They made a very, very strong crossfire here between the stairs and the vent. Had good timings, played off each other really well. Exertion got a little bit more than he should have, you know, as a solo guy, but that's the kind of player he is. And Fnatic Rising like played right into their hand. So again, so scary off that information, but shout out to those opening duels won. Torzy getting spammed down through a smoke. And now Squeaky's open up once again.
Hot. Banjo, good for just the first. Keve and Pepsor, though, going to alleviate a bunch of pressure. Shane's into the mix as he pushes into Hut.
Shane's got 2. Pepsor up front.
Oh my God.
No! He's got 3. 2v1. Regali all alone.
No
ball
way.
in hand. Can't drop the vents if he wants to. They know that he's around here. And I think that's actually such a nice rotation out of the Hut to create a connection with his teammate. This will be very hard to win now.
2v4 with pistols?
Yeah, insane. They could not kill Shane.
He pushes up into the Hut.
This is where they switch to Polish.
Regali. Man, how does he even get out here? He's going to have to just predict the player straight above him. And instead he's...
Oh, damn, right
he
in
hit
the
it!
leg.
He hit it!
Right in the leg.
Wow, Shane, 12 HP, but I mean, at that point, Shane, play of the round.
Damn.
No doubt.
That's the WePlay of the day.
The fact that he hits that shot, or Shane?
Shane.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, eco play, I don't know. Was it? I guess it was. I think it was.
Okay.
There's some good plays this game, but...
Hey man, you're the boss.
I don't know. You said something.
You're the
about
boss,
play,
brother.
And it's like, maybe it's
We play of the day.
Play of the day. Polish power.
We play every day.
The beer is called Żywiec.
Żywiec,
something like that.
Okay. Was it any good? I can't remember.
Fizzy yellow lager.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good though.
Fizzy bubble water.
You like your bubble waters?
I do.
Got a lot of friends in Europe. I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
Give me that water with the gas. Give me that water with the gas.
This is it.
Shane applying the pedal to the metal.
We play the day.
Get ready. Get ready. Boom! That's the one, man. Shutting down Pepsor, that's the one. That's a jump start. It's a booster cabled comeback into the game. Not a comeback, but a comeback into the game. The engine has restarted for mouz NXT. But I'm already being, quite honestly, impressed by Fnatic Rising's T side, so I'm more than happy to just sit back and watch them continue to pull out the tricks. Ooh, credit card peek.
God. Torzy has no idea how close they are. I mean, he's aware of something, but...
Yeah, he can have a hunch or an inkling, but he doesn't have a surefire certainty.
Oh, there's the attack. It's coming. Let's see. Oh, never mind. They're still holed up in garage. Lots of time for the T side, so...
Flash above garage.
Holy moly. That's a take a peek, I think, from inside mini. I don't know if they take it.
Ooh.
Torzy's not seeing anything. Might be a really nice attack here for Fnatic Rising. They've played it just carefully enough, but now Torzy is aware, actually. That's for free. That's for free. And
right to the face.
He didn't break that glass, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Yeah, he can't worry about this.
Yeah, he's a little cautious already, but he's making so much sound that obviously Keve is going to have a better picture as to what's going on. And having just heard that ladder drop, for sure it's the walk-in.
Yeah. Timing, Exertion's not watching Heaven at all.
And he just lost his teammate.
They died back sight. Oh my God, they all go down. Oh, that was a gap. Wow. Oh, Shuhi's in this position inside the site.
He's in the play.
Keve up in Heaven. JDC is rapping. I mean, it's still low percentage, but he is rapping.
Shuhi needs to make sure that he doesn't get caught by the squeaky player. Oh my God, they've got Heaven back in their hands. KST kills his teammate.
JDC in with another clutch attempt. He needs to finally stick the landing on one of these, but with the player down beneath him, he's a dead man walking. fnatic rising with the 3vx. Oh, Keve pieced together the better picture because Torzy was making a lot of sound once he got that one op shot.
One kill. He thought
never really thought that there'd be a second player.
Yeah, yeah. Now that's actually
let his guard down.
That's a moment where Keve jumped up, but you can I don't know from his spot exactly, but you can hear people jumping up on that specific barrel. But you have to be, I think, underneath the ladder. And Torzy's over towards Turnpike. And that's a way back in. That's a tense situation. That's actually so nice from fnatic Rising.
Fun stuff. Whoa! JDC, he gets himself an early double.
Yeah.
Now, curious, because, you know, JDC is one of the 2 players who doesn't have a main weapon.
They still have control.
If they think that that's just going to mean that these other counter-terrorists don't have much to work with, then fnatic Rising could be walking into a trap.
My god, Exertion pushes forward.
He doesn't even take damage from that Molotov somehow.
He ran in front of it, yeah.
Bomb plant's going to happen in the open. Shui opens up the door. Sends a couple rounds through smoke. And another piece of utility falls down upon it. KST has to keep his eyes on the ramp flank, and that's a duel that if mouz are able to pick up, then they could have got the retake rolling. Instead, I think this really locks in fnatic Rising to a comfortable position. It's just Shui and Shane to try their damnedest. Oh, and Regali gets the timing on the double door peak, so now that's a 12-11 lead for fnatic Rising. And the fact that mouz NXT invested into this round means that they're going to be sent back onto their haunches. The economy rears its ugly head. And fnatic Rising, one step closer. This is 5 terrorist round wins in the 8 T rounds they've played. Stellar second half that exceeds the expectations, right? That was the whole thing coming into the second half. Like, well, yeah, fnatic Rising, at least they exceed our expectations. That's the silver lining that we could at least identify, because it just didn't feel like even on a CT side, despite them playing better than our expectations, that would even be enough. But a defensive half that is falling somewhat flat for mouz.
I mean, it's pretty decent, but like fnatic Rising are playing just as well. You know, like it's quite a close half. But again, if you keep trading rounds back and forth, that's only going to favor the T side, where everything's on sale. One thing is some damage, but control of the vent and lore control is enormous for attracting attention. Look at the CTs on the hunt. And the Ts can do a lot with this. See what will happen as they come into Keve's angle. Finally take him out. The rest of the rifles now can just avoid off of this information and take upstairs cleanly. They'll get the bomb down and likely take this to 13. And I don't know. Are we in a position in next round for mouz NXT to buy? Looks like they might be able to. I don't know what kind of loss bonus they're on. They lost these last 3 rounds, something like that.
Maybe one sprinkled in. Might have 19 or 2,400. I wanted the KST one tap. I could feel it. I could feel it. 13-11, fnatic Rising. Hell, man, do it to him. Why not? Exceed all expectations. Now's the match to do it. This is the match that gets you to LAN. This is the match that matters. To kind of knock mouz NXT down a peg, remind them that maybe they're not safely secured for the back-to-back champs. You know, it's even more loss bonus, now on 34 after that one. So yeah, definitely an easy rebuy for mouz NXT. Torzy's back in with the op. Haven't really got to see too much of that on this CT side. It's been the exertion show for the most part. Timeout called. Good time for it as well. Figure out what the hell's going on. You got to stop the bleeding. Because we have a situation where fnatic are within 3.
I mean, I would love if fnatic Rising called a fast strat here, honestly. I mean, They did good to do those very slow rounds and find those timings and stuff, but I feel like this is a moment where if you're mouz NXT, you could maybe overthink, Maybe this is a moment where they're going to think a little bit too hard and overcomplicate the situation, and Fnatic Rising could take advantage of that by going quickly, you know, just really ensure they're confident. I mean, if they get away with a fast round, I mean, there's going to be no win left in the sails of mouz NXT to make a comeback. And we say staring at 14 on a save, and then have to think about saving to match point as well.
Lots of flashbangs, tons of utility.
That's an enormous drop for Keve.
Yes, it is.
This is huge. I mean, just them knowing that he's gotten downstairs is enough. As JDC needs some support now as they attack on the ramp, and they are coming quick, and he doesn't hold.
Torzi's up, missed the shot, fired his feet, means he needs to fall back.
That's vent rotation and ramp rotation denied. They can only rotate down through secret. Oh, there is a frag. 2 for Shui, actually.
And Torzi got one of the feed. 4 kills back the other direction. It falls onto Banjo in the 1v3. It looked like mouz had lost everything. A 4v5 turned to the 3v1. But that 3v1 to the 2v1 because Banjo is on for the clutch.
This could mean everything.
He's got space to work as well. Torzi's going to be coming down from this ramp room eventually, but how much space are they going to give the kid to clutch?
He has so much time to work with, and they'll probably let him put this bomb down. It's in the open. They can torment him from a number of choke points, and they have his escape routes locked out as well. He can find the potential timing inside of the vent after he gets this bomb if he'd like to, but he has got to smoke. So, yeah, he's encouraged to, I think, sit here and think about a plant, but I'll put it down slightly in the open.
Fake tap the first time.
You have to commit out to peek from Nico's. Maybe he'll do it. Shane finds that moment to do it. Yeah.
All right. They put on the squeeze, man. They put on the squeeze.
Oh, it was scary. It was a good try, but it's very hard to win. It's very hard to win on the lower site. All those doors open, and just the number of choke points in general.
Yeah.
No escape route. So, no, not expecting him to win, but giving him the benefit of the doubt. Banjo's definitely shown some great moves. But mouz, I mean, I can't believe they recover here. It's off of this second kill from Shui, and then the rotation, quick rotation down from Exertion. That's, dude, I didn't even realize Exertion got down there. The only way they had to go was through Secret. The whole point Fnatic Rising, Keve dropping immediately, is that now you can't even go downstairs. If we go ramp or we go outside, we have 2 out of the 3 ways to get down there. You're going to be too slow, and somehow mouz NXT are able to get 2 people downstairs. That's enormous.
Right, that's the kickstart. That's the one that Fnatic Rising just have to cope with, accept it, and try to bounce right back to their winning ways. A mini wraparound made possible. Oh, but the quick dink by Exertion. We've got 2 players looking to challenge out from Hut. One still coming out from Squeaky. The corner gets cleared down its back. Thanks to Torzi. Banjo's inside of the site. Bomb's been dropped. It's a 2v2. Banjo, I don't know if he realizes that Torzi's already slid down to the ground floor. Bombs picked back up, and Torzi misses his chance because he also didn't expect it. JDC caught by Keve, and we've got Fnatic Rising on 14.
Oh my God, Torzi! He doesn't clear that underneath. He was reloading underneath the site, and Torzi's too scared to actually come and clear that. Did the nerves get to him? Holy, that's insane. They even had enough people out there. They caught the lurk inside of an instant 5v4. They have 2 players there, the rotator in the off coming in through heaven. And then Torzi hits a ridiculous shot to opposite vent to help out his other player upstairs. But still, somehow, Fnatic managed to win the round. That's incredible. Yes, we win 1 round, but it's a 2v1. And then we lose. So I think mouz can still potentially put together a bye. And we'll see what this means. And there is actually an op again for Torzi. So the concessions are the 2 MP9s. But I think the op is going to be the big thing. And the map hasn't been incredibly impressive from Torzi. There's a couple of moments here like, well, he could have got another kill.
Little pea shooter of a scout.
Oh, sorry, he's got a scout.
Yeah, man. Not ideal, huh? Misses the first one.
2 cross instantly, fast downstairs.
Disrespect, dude. That's a whole W type.
I love this call.
And behind it, Fnatic Rising playing like they've already got this in the bag.
Oh my God, he's gonna take the risk and run up.
Oh, he gets 1. JDC at least good for the first.
That's one of the good guns though. Inside of control, under the watch of Pepsor.
And will it draw the attention of another mouz member?
This is insanely hard to play without information from the CT side. This is such a strong position for Fnatic Rising. They've got their foot on the neck to get match point. Bombs dropped. They're waiting for a mistake from mouz. Some kind of reaggression. Triple upstairs. They're hoping that Fnatic take it back into the spot. You can hear them crossing. They're actually making a lot of noise coming down here. Yep. But the CTs are not in a position to rotate. They have to take over lobby to get downstairs. They haven't recovered on the vents.
This is Torzi's chance to shine. Smoke. Ooh, both sides of ramp. Good utility coverage to definitely guarantee this bomb plant at the very least. Scout shot lands, man. Oh, a second! Torzi no-scoping through the smoke. Regali on the vent isn't able to get more than just the one.
Oh,
it's into the man advantage. Keve's abandoned inside sight, and he needs the 1v3 or mouz NXT win a round they have no business putting their name on. And sure enough, he can't run away.
Are you kidding? He hits 2 no-scopes through the smoke, 2 shots through the smoke. And that's the 4v3. And then Exertion as he comes out of the vent. The trade on Regali, first of all, and then Exertion splits with his friend. One goes decon. Exertion waits for the reaggression from control side. Totally calls him out. This is so insane. This play is so sick. And then it's just over. No way they won a retake in that situation. I can't actually believe it. And now no op for Fnatic Rising and a Galil, in fact.
Who do you think you are to land scout shots like that? We always say that the best oppers should also be those S-tier scout players. You know, if you can handle both the scoped weapons, then you can try to transition your playstyle through and through. Torzi, damn man, that's one for the highlight reel. But he's going to drop his first op shot, revealing to Pepsor that this sniper is in secret stairs. Exertion wants to lend a helping hand, but...
Oh my god. Oh, Pepsor making noise.
Yep. Jesus. Yep. Torzi's going to fall at least back a little bit more. Very much a 1v1 affair over towards the stairs.
And they've got, between Pepsor and Keve, they've done such a good job in these defaults of just finding a 5v4, being very tricky and annoying. Right now they've made a decent amount of progress, a regular amount of progress getting over to Secret, but it'll be known to mouzsports.
Shane's not going to be Molotov'd as he anticipated. Instead, they threw one on top of Hut. Their utility doesn't get anybody out. Yeah, KST drops, but Torzi's lying in wait. Now JDC anticipating the ramp play. Everybody's just shaving players off before Fnatic Rising even have a chance to commit to something big. Pepsor's going to round the blue box. Shui's got him dead to rights. And this is a collapse for Fnatic Rising. Every direction they attempt to take, they lose ahead in the process.
Jeez, they're in so many unpredictable spots.
Damn, mouz.
Had a moment there where they could get downstairs.
And now all they want to do is save, but even that's going to be cut down. Exertion looking for the second to close this in a flawless fashion. 500 HP up for mouz NXT. Neither team on 15, but the 29th round decides it, and the cash for Fnatic is non-existent.
That is so hard to play against. I don't even know what to say about that, man. They tried. They got down the vent clean. Torzi picked up this kill. He's literally staring at it. As soon as the nades come upstairs, they're ready, they're waiting, and they're even waiting downstairs for that potential play as well. And that's why I was wondering, are they going to peek from opposite vent? They hear some of this pressure towards Squeaky. Well, they've got a solution in Torzi. Man, it's literally pistols now.
Wow.
Like, they have to eco them.
It's shocking to me how just how.
Oh, well, maybe they
okay.
Man, that's
X factor.
That's an op in the big garage that they can actually potentially work towards, but
that's the X factor.
The CTs want to make sure they never get close to this.
Somebody has to go for the pop off. That is the only deagle on this round as well. I want that to be noted. 1 deagle, 1 Tech 9. You know, sometimes it's just about multiple players getting away with the Juan Deeg.
This is huge between Shui and Exertion to cover all these positions.
Oh, but Regali gets wounded down to 37. Question is, will the Deagle exchange hands? Yeah, you've lost a player, but again, it's such a minimal investment from Fnatic Rising that you're still favored by every sense of the word. I mean, you're fighting a Glock into CT spawn with no armor.
They're terrified, though.
Talk about desperate. But you are right, it's happening. Oh my god, 2 dinks!
What the fuck? With a Glock.
What? What?
Okay, they're terrified for good reason.
What?
Very good reason. I can't even believe that.
Now JDC is going to be the one that's tested. He doesn't have any utility to lock in ramp. It just needs to be the AK shots, and Regali's got another Deagle frag.
3v3.
That could be the weapon pick back up, but sure enough, Shui shaves one off. He's going to be making the difference until Banjo comes alive with the Tech 9.
No way.
And don't forget for a moment, Pepsor is still standing. 10 seconds left on this. Bomb rotates back up. No CTs inside A site. And if they come flying back up this vent, then it's just the Glock of Pepsor. So sure enough, he dies. There's no time. It comes down to the wire. Fnatic Rising attempting to make something out of nothing. Magic in thin air. And an electric sense in the 29th round, which leads me to believe that Fnatic Rising aren't done yet. If they can pull off so much impact with so little, then you have to give them the benefit of the doubt in this final round of Nuke.
Dude, they had the vent covered, the
Wow.
rotation out of huts. Oh, and Shane gets that. We have to listen into the mouz team speak.
I'm gonna flash outside, I'm gonna nade it. I'm laying it out. Fast outside nades.
One was outside.
I smoked door, yeah. They smoked first Navi.
Yeah, they can sneak you down.
I don't see anything ramp.
They can sneak secret, guys.
Fun.
I smoked it, I'm leaving it.
Down a lot.
3 down.
No,
2 or
no.
3. I think 2 down at least. I think 2 down.
I didn't
They
see
can
ramp
sneak main.
One on
One
main.
top main. Yeah, they're gonna take under heaven. Listen, when they take under heaven, we push out Hubert. Smoke door.
Okay.
They do it now.
Coming radio close,
Okay, that's
so
now.
we can...
Yeah. He's listen. I have lobby. He's roof. He's the lobby guy. Wait. So, I have lobby. He's roof still. What is main? He's still roof. No,
Under
just
heaven.
lobby heaven.
Under
Lobby
heaven.
entrance. Yeah, I'm going under heaven. Hubert, hold lobby entrance. Hubert, please.
Wait.
Pushing.
I'm still outside lobby.
Danger.
Can you hold it?
Yeah, I have it now.
Okay, nice.
One under heaven.
Lobby that, nice.
City blue, city blue. Bump. One was under heaven.
One city blue.
They can come ramp, right? Or no?
No.
Okay. Listen, Hubert, can you pick on me lobby?
Guys,
Nothing
they can
actually
go
no.
heaven.
Nothing outside.
Yeah, I will play on my timing. Hubert, just play for yourself. They can push you anywhere.
35 seconds.
I will play soon. Don't worry. In 5 seconds, I'll pick.
Nothing for them outside. They must
Okay.
push from doors.
I think one pushed you. Or no? No. It's fine. I'll pick in 5 seconds again.
CT now.
They have to come after the ticket.
I don't see under heaven.
I don't see it. Sound,
I'm going heaven.
sound. Give me sound. Please. Out.
One more.
What a win that was.
A well-deserved pop-off. mouz NXT,
Damn.
the second team to qualify for WePlay Academy League LAN here for Season 2.
That was nuts.
God damn, what a close, man. But, I mean, it's got to be said. Round 29 from Fnatic Rising is the best case example of just how close they came to maybe pushing this to a third map. And of all of the teams on all of the maps across this opening bit of the season, I would say that Fnatic Rising's improvements on Ancient were the most notable. If this goes a third map, I'm telling you, it's just as close as Nuke ended up being. I give a tip to the hat because Fnatic Rising showed us something on Nuke, a map that they had no business even contesting whatsoever. A heartbreaking end for them, of course, but congratulations, mouz. You've earned this. A spot at LAN and a chance to take your crown back a second time. Throw this over to another king, James Banks, waiting by.
Thank you very much, Scrawny and Lawners. What an ending to this series. Almost going to a third map. And normally it's mouz being in the lead and then starting to fall behind. This time it was them, okay, having a lead for a little bit, but then really Fnatic taking over, taking control, and mouz letting the ball drop on a map we know they are very good at.
This was just a close game, flat out. This was much closer than we expected. Yeah, and I think Launders or Scrawny said it, just tip of the hat to Fnatic, because what they put together here was a shocker given their past nuke performances.
Exactly.
You know, they never really even had a decent CT side before, and now they're able to put together 7 rounds against mouz, and then their T side finds 7 rounds also. I mean, that's really impressive given how well mouz should be playing, but that does beg the question, did mouz kind of let a few of these rounds slip through their fingers?
You could say so, but also if you're Fnatic Rising, I do believe they won 3 or 4 pistol rounds in this game, and they didn't convert a single one of those. Every single time it was the second round, mousesports fought back, mousesports broke them again. If you're Fnatic Rising right now, you made it this close without winning or converting a pistol round at that point. That's impressive, and that's a testament to how well they're playing in the buy rounds as well, in the gun game as well, so to speak. Maybe mousesports dropping the ball a little bit, but I think Fnatic did what we asked them to do. They made this game ugly. They made it a game of clutches. They made it a game of 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3s. They constantly sent a guy down to the vents, which, yes, in normal Counter-Strike, like just having a guy lower going through the vents doesn't necessarily win you the round, but it stresses your opposition. It stresses your opponent to make a rotation and constantly be aware that there is a guy on the lower bomb side they need to keep track of at all times. So in terms of stressing your opponent and in terms of forcing your opponent to make moves and rotate around, I think Fnatic Rising did a fantastic job, and they fully deserve this close game that it was. mousesports just once again showing that in the last couple of rounds, individually speaking, you see Searching closing it out right there with 2 fantastic headshots from Ramp. You know, individually speaking, they just couldn't match them. As a team, I think they did very, very well.
Now, one thing I will touch on, though, when it comes to this, despite mouz doing well, on a map like Nuke, where AWP is so important for this outside yard control coming in there right over and over again, Torzy continues to struggle despite this being a good map, and his teammates have to bail him out. For someone who we potentially say could replace an Acor, who's not been looking hot on that main mousesports roster, I still want to see this guy thrive a bit more. We know he's got this individual talent and skill, but Nuke's just not his day.
The first couple series that Torzy played, he did look really, really good. He was the highest rated player. I don't think he is anymore after this series, but some of the peaks he was taking outside, just a little risky, you know, sometimes a little drier than you would hope. Sometimes you'd want to maybe a flash to set him up. But that's something you want your opper to do, is to take enough dry peaks that you can control space without having to have too much setup. It's just that Torzy sometimes doesn't always seem to pick the perfect spot. And that's something that is going to come with time. Sometimes just missing that one shot allows the floodgates to open, then the T's can rush you down in certain situations. Yeah, we see him at the bottom of the scoreboard there. It's not like he did terribly, but you're not really looking for that in a 30-round game when you have the off so many times.
I think we saw the perfect example of what Torzy is all about. The one round where he pushes out of heaven with the AWP, goes down towards the bomb side and white swings, essentially lost him and mousesports the round. The following round with the scout, double no-scoping a guy through the smoke and enabling the retake, right? It's an all-in or nothing package with this guy. When he's hitting it, when he's on fire, when he does these crazy moves, it's not about, you know, using your brain, it's not about calculating your risk, etc. He's playing on pure intuition, and most of the time, let's be honest, it's working for Torzy, especially at this level, because individually he can outfrag people, but when you get to the higher tier Counter-Strike, when you're going up against a guy like Simple or Saibu, you will be punished more often than not when you make those plays. So I like to see the confidence coming out of this guy. I like to see the crazy plays. He has some flair to him. He's explosive. He's fun to watch. But if you want to take the next step, if you potentially want to replace Acor within mousesports, which could be a big talking point for the future, maybe a little bit more stability needs to be added to his game. But there's definitely potential.
Now, a guy who has a lot of potential, and we talk about in a lot of positive ways here from the mousesports sites, is JDC. He's joining us for the winners interview as they've made it back-to-back lands coming on through. JDC, how does it feel, man? You guys are looking lights out.
It feels amazing. I can't describe it. It's just a blessing, you know? It feels really, really good.
Now, one thing we talk about here with you guys is that when it comes to mousesports, we've often seen you guys be massively in the leading games, then it starts to slip away, and then you fight back into it. This time around from Fnatic, they managed to get ahead of you, and you were on the back foot. What did you feel was going wrong?
Well, I mean, we started off a bit sloppy. I think like a little individual mistakes on given sides they hit cost us a couple of rounds. But in the end, I think we still played good. It was just little details that we missed that cost us rounds in that game, especially on Inferno when we start 7-1. I think it was never in danger for us mentally. We were always hyping and very concentrated, even though we were back 7-1. We just made sure that we just keep communicating really good and keep making the same plays and not be scared. And the rounds will come, and they eventually did, thankfully. So, yeah, pretty much.
JDC, I have a couple questions. The first of which is I wanted to know, specifically for Nuke down lower, it seems like some of those situations got really hairy for you guys at that B bomb site. You know, you won a couple of the close ones, but you lost a handful of them too. How are you going to try to clean that up in terms of just your teamwork when you're trying to deal with that situation?
Well, I mean, we just keep we just have to keep practicing. You know, those things happen in every game, and they will happen in the future as well. You can only learn from that. So in that case, I think it was very good that we got punished a bit in that scenario, as well as Fnatic just being on point. You know, they played good CS. Gotta respect that as well. And I'm just happy that we managed to pull through, and we just keep learning from here. You know, it's never stopping. So.
Okay, another question I have for you is Shuhei as a leader. We've heard his comms and how they've developed from season 1 to season 2. I would say that he has a little bit more complexity to the way he delivers things. Like he's concise now. It's really good. Whereas before, I'd say early in season 1 when we hear the comms, sometimes it's as simple as like, okay, guys, let's just group up and hit go B. What ways have you noticed that he has developed as a captain of the team?
I think he's been doing an amazing job in developing his entire IGL skill. I mean, he was fresh to the role off the start, right? But right now he's just getting into it every day better and better. And I mean, we talk about communication a lot in the team. I think it's one of the most important things in the game itself, to be on point with the communication. So he just does an amazing job in developing that. And everyone is helping each other, you know, keeping improving things that maybe you as self don't really see happening, you know? So, yeah, he's developing his skills continuously, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, everyone is just working continuously on everything at the same time, and that's pretty much what happened since season 1, you know, and that's why he's been doing that great.
Cool. JDC, you once again qualified for the LAN finals, and last time you went into the LAN, you kind of shared the favorite role with Young Ninjas, but I think we all can agree now, and maybe even yourself would agree to this testament, that you guys are coming in as the hot favorites, the defending champions. You're looking around you right now, you're looking at this league. Who do you consider to be your biggest rivals coming into this LAN this time around?
That's a good question. I like that. I mean, I would consider it still being Young Ninjas, even though they looked a bit sloppier than the last season, I would say. But they still as well play a lot, and they managed to pull through as well to the first place in their group. So I'd consider them being the rivals that we will face, maybe.
Awesome. Well, JDC, I've got one final thing to ask you as well, because obviously it was you and Cyclone that came together and put this roster together overall. Could you imagine when you were kind of picking these players and putting it all together that you'd have this kind of success?
I mean, when we put it together, we were hoping for that, right? Imagining it, I mean, I believed it. I didn't know if it would turn out in the way it does right now, but that was the goal of putting up the roster, exactly achieving what we are doing right now. So I wouldn't say we saw it coming, but I mean, we believed in it the whole way, and right now it's paying off. So it was the right decision after all with Cyclone, and it's paying amazingly. So.
Well done once again. Congratulations for making it to the LAN finals for this second season. That trophy is certainly on your eyes, but you've got a little way to go before it happens. So go get more practice in, go get yourself ready, and we'll look forward to seeing you when it comes to the LAN.
Thank you a lot, yeah. We will keep practicing, no worries.
We know that for sure. That's one thing mouse sports are always doing, right, guys? We see it. They're putting in the grind, they're putting in the time. Like you mentioned, Pimp, they're all full-time when it comes to this as well. No one's got school or something else in the way. It's full focus on what possibly could be the start of a very bright future for a lot of these players. But I want to ask you guys, on mouse sports, in your eyes right now, who is got the most potential? Who is the brightest in terms of that going there and taking the next step?
I think JDC role-wise would fit into a lot of tier 1 teams, tier 2 teams as of right now. I think his role in itself is unique. The way he's very composed, calm, communicates, etc. I think there's a lot of teams who could use that within their ranks right now. So in terms of like where he would fit in the most and what's most likely to happen within the near future, I'd say JDC. In terms of raw potential on the server, I'm gonna go with Exertion. I think he's shown me enough times now, grinding it through FPLC, coming into this lineup as well, and constantly just getting better and better than better. That this guy, this kid, you know, he got some raw potential, he got some raw skill, even decided to drop out of school to fully focus on Counter-Strike as well. He's committed to it. So if I would guess a player that would, you know, take the tier 1 scene, take the tier 2 scene by storm in a couple of years, or maybe sooner, that'll be Exertion. Yeah,
I think the word that you use that I want to echo is just potential. And if that's the question, then it's exertion. I think JDC right now, I mean, he could be on a top 20 25 team pretty easily, actually. I think he could slot in for a lot of players on those kind of rosters. But it's just that Exertion right now has, to me, the highest ceiling. In terms of raw ability, like this is his first team, pretty much. That's what we learned throughout all this. And that is kind of amazing because he's putting up, like, he's consistently either the highest rated for them in a lot of matches or second highest rated. Like, he rarely has a bad game. And that's something where, I mean, we praise JDC for never having a bad game, but Exertion hits much higher highs. Like, he can just completely own a position. And that's just like, wow, like, how did you do that without actually having played against this much utility before? Because he's playing FBLC. You know, people are going to be aiming pretty well, but then the nade work and getting past it is another level where I didn't expect him to be this good at doing that. So Exertion for me is a guy that I feel like in very like split-second decisions, he's making a lot of right decisions.
Twitch chat know what to do. Clip this, you know, save this, and then when it does happen, we go Mario and Pimp were right. There you go. Exertion, the future star. And guess what, boys? We were right. We got a prediction ready out the last 3 days. Whoa, we did it. We're going to take a look at the brackets, though, and see where we're at the end of the day. The group stage has ending. We know what is happening. Group A saw Young Ninjas take the win and go straight to the LAN final, seeing Na'Vi Junior alongside Big Omen Academy finding themselves in the last chance qualifier. Then we move over to Group B, which we just finished up with this matchup of mouz Sports going up against the good old Fnatic Rising squad. And it ended up with a 2-0. mouz 2-0'd their way through Fury Academy, VP Prodigy, and finally Fnatic Rising to get the job done. Fnatic Rising now, though, will sit there in the last chance group going up against Big Omen Academy for our first game in that. Obviously, there's a lower bracket as well, though, guys, and that's going to be huge and certainly needed. Pimp, you said yesterday, right, Na'Vi Junior and BP Prodigy are your 2 picks to go all the way through. Maui, I want to ask you, what do you think?
That's really tough, James. I would have to pick Na'Vi Junior. And I want to pick VP Prodigy. It's just, can they win 2 games in a row when their life is on the line for me? And that's something where I think they'll beat Big, but then in that last deciding game where they probably are going to face up against Fnatic, that's such a coin flip for me. It's so close. They've won one series, like Fnatic won once. I mean, VP's won once. Like, it's so tough. I want to make the decision now, so I'll pick. I'll pick Fnatic. I'll pick Fnatic.
Okay.
But I'm praying that it's on a weekend. That's why. If it's on a weekday, I'm going VP though.
Okay, well, depends which version of Regali we're going to get, which day he's going to be playing. But we are done for another day. But we are going to show you guys what's coming up in just a couple of days. Because schedule-wise, we are having a day off tomorrow. There's a little bit of rest before we get to the last chance qualifier. And then we come back for all of that action coming into play. When it comes to that last chance qualifier though, right? I do think that we'll get some of the upsets in there. I think, sadly, them boys on Na'Vi Junior may struggle at some point, you know? It does happen. And let's be honest, a CIS matchup, you know what it is? Domestic matchups. I don't want to see my boys from Na'Vi Junior lose, but I got to be realistic. CIS matchups, domestic matchups, always give us a bit of madness in here.
Such a hater. Such a Na'Vi hater, James. I thought you loved Na'Vi to the bone.
You're such a Na'Vi hater.
Yeah,
James.
what the hell, man?
Na'Vi hater.
Na'Vi hater.
Cool.
Na'Vi hater.
Don't worry, my Na'Vi fans will just attack you some more. You're used to it at this point, aren't you?
Come at me, man. I got my best to fight them off. Every single one of them. I don't give a damn.
I got a paddle.
I'm looking forward to it as well. To be completely honest, I kind of want to correct myself. I think Fnatic Rising, after what they performed the last couple of days, VP Prodigy, sure, they were excited.
You're flip-flopping before the game's even happened.
I think Fnatic Rising, with the level we saw today, they should be able to take down a couple of those teams.
Really? Really? I think it's so close.
Yeah, it is close, but it's going to be exciting. And James, I'm going to be watching from home, and I'm going to be having a very close eye on you, and that you don't mess up this disc.
Not possible. I don't do that.
It's a Na'Vi hater.
Bye,
keep rolling it, yeah, Pimp. We'll get you out of here, right? There's a reason he's going, isn't there, Maui? We need to.
I've been fired, I guess.
Is there a reason? Is there a reason? Did he do something that I didn't? Actually, he just keeps beating everybody at foosball upstairs. That's actually what's happening.
Oh, table football, yeah.
Yeah.
Foosball.
Table football. Foosball, whatever.
Damn it,
Table football. Yeah.
Okay, you can't come back until you learn the proper name of the game you're very good at.
How can I be the best at a game I don't even pronounce? You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very Pimp, isn't it?
That's true.
Let's get the hell out of here, boys.
Please.
Thank you very much for everyone at home for watching. We've had a blast once again, but when we come back in just a couple of days' time, we're getting 2 games coming your way that you won't want to miss, because there's a few more spots left at this LAN finals for Season 2 of the WePlay CSGO Academy League. We'll see you guys in just a few.
It's not for him, looking at the ground, and the round is won by Na'Vi. No! Stolen in the the final seconds.
Down these remaining players to shut up and catch those. Oh my god, he's gonna win the round! That is karma!
Saints and sinners I see when I look in my eyes. Yeah, I got some demons, and we're all doing fine.